And here we are. We are on the internet. Unless I have made some sort of incredible extra mistake, which is entirely possible. So, thus begins the Fallen Gods campaign. And we've got everybody around here. Oh, people rolling some stuff. Yeah. So, announcements-y things. We are planning to stream here once a week, Saturdays at 1 p.m. I have a complete inability to look into camera, and will be because my DM instincts are to check people's reactions and like see how things are going, which makes me like do this a lot. Everything we have no sponsors. Sponsors would be welcome, but we'll probably have to break double-digit followers before then. So, oh well, that's how it goes. We have an interesting campaign. Everyone has made characters inspired by gods of Dungeons and Dragons. So let us go into our setup. So the gods have fallen, been stripped of their powers, and banished to the material plane as mortals. So all of you are going about your godly businesses. I'm gonna have everybody actually start with a perception check. So go ahead and just roll a d20 and add your perception bonus. You got the roll apps over there. If you've got your character sheet set up, you can also probably just click perception to let that work out there. Alright. So, everyone... Baby's mad. Everyone is going about their rounds of their usual godly business, and Bakab, you are wandering through. You have a library of spell tomes. One tome in particular on a pedestal that is a tome of all spells that have been known to the entirety of the material plane. And you notice, actually, and you've seen this before, a new spell has been created, and there's a little flash from inside the tome. As you walk over to open it up to see what it is, you feel like a tug on your back. As you kind of look back, there's nothing there, and just sort of like confused for half a second, and then you feel that pull rip you out of your demi-plane of existence, and all of you feel the same pull and then tug and rip out of the heavens, falling through the literal atmosphere. Your divine arms and armaments just sparking and going dull as you crash into the ground. The small craters where you've landed, some of you a little bit more gracefully than others, as your armor and weapons that are extensions of your very being and power just turn to dust and ash around you, and you look around in this quaint little village, a little like cause of seagulls nearby, and you're both all just kind of looking around confused, and there's a few of you around who are in the immediate vicinity, and then you see maybe 100 others, all with a similar confused look with like ash around them, some like silvery dragonborn. You see another dragonborn with like 5 heads looking around confused. There's a dwarf whose highly intricate, gorgeous armor seemed to hold up from the fall, and then as it stands up going, "What the hells was that?" And the rest of his armor then also cracks and disintegrates around him, and he just looks around very angry and confused. There's let's see, everybody. I don't want to just do another perception check. It's everybody give me an investigation check as you're kind of trying to piece together what's going on around you. You just roll a d20 and add your bonus if you know your bonus, or you just click the thing. Oh. So, as you all are looking around, something that occurs to Sahanin, looking up immediately in front of you, there is a general goods shop, and a man out front kind of looking very confused, and then there's a weird look of recognition in that shop owner's eyes looking directly at you, and you look up and you can see it says 2 Moons Goods, and your pantheon involves the moons, and you can see you recognize a holy symbol around the neck of the man, and it's your holy symbol. As he's looking down at you and just is like, my lady, and just kind of looks at you in this pile of ash in a dent in the earth, and is just like, what's happening?
I wish you could tell me. Where am I?
Oh, this is he's just like, he kind of has a pondering of if you mean that on a cosmic scale or a more finite, and he's just like, this is the small city of Unis. I'm very confused. Please, what is... As he's sitting there stumbling in his words, trying to figure out what could possibly be happening, there is a sound that Bakab might recognize. Let's have Bakab make an Arcana check.
Got it.
12 is fine. It's a very distinctive marking. You hear a whistle through the air and see this, and as you look over from a ways away, you see a small red bead of power fly up the hill that's leading into the town, and then just, and you see 4 or 5 of the figures who are confused and covered in their own dust just explode and fly through the air as a fireball goes off at the end of town. The shopkeeper just looks over very suddenly. Come in, and kind of shoos the 4 of you into his shop. Everybody runs in, or how you guys gonna handle?
Runs in immediately.
Yeah.
I can stand around with a fireball.
I'm gonna follow. I'm not got much of a choice. I don't want to die.
Yeah. You guys all hustle in, and he shuts the door and puts the wood barrier down. You can see through a small window by the door just a horde of, at first, goblins, but also orcs, hobgoblins, some humans, half-elves, elves, rushing through town, and they all seem to be running in with rope or manacles, and they're just they're jumping on both the people that are covered in dust as well as just random townsfolk that are around. They seem to be saving the manacles for the others that are covered in their dust and from the impact. People are running and screaming and trying to go all over the place. Everybody give me a stealth check. No, none of you are in armor, so none of you have disadvantage on this. So it's a straight dex check.
All of us roll stealth.
Stealth check from everybody, yeah.
Ooh.
20, 13, 18. All right. So So you are all pretty confident you got in, and you're gonna have a few seconds to do some things before some of you looking out the window notice that these creatures and people are all rushing into buildings and dragging people out into the middle of the street, and you figure it's a matter of time before they come to the shop, and the shop owner looks over specifically to Sahanin and is like, "Please, just grab what you need. There's my room is in the back, and there's a secret entrance into a tunnel. You'll." And he looks over at Sahin's like, "You'll know what to look for." And as he like goes and there's a halfling who's like a assistant in the shopkeep who's off to the side, and he goes over to him and is trying to like give and you can see the halfling in the corner kind of freaking out, and he's just like, "Nope, just it's fine. They'll grab what they need and go, and we'll figure out what the rest will happen in a sec." So all of you have a moment. You're not sure how many moments as you look around this like general goods shop. It's relatively small, but there are armors up against the wall. There are weapon racks. There's a spot with gear backpacks, like adventuring backpacks, and there is a little collection of different things around. I'm gonna have you guys roll initiative to just see who can pick what first. All right, so that's gonna be Bakab off the bat. So Bakab, looking around, there's a fair amount of weapons. You do see it looks like there is a small section for magical equipment. You see there is a potion in a little lift-up case, a cloak hung up against the wall, which seems to like blow in the wind even though you're inside. And then there is a staff that has a gilded acorn rotating at the top of it. And you guys are essentially in sacks at this point, with just like basic clothes, with let's see, Bakab would have his spell tome with and as you kind of flipped it open, you realized all but the spells you've selected for character creation have disappeared. The ink is gone on them. But Bakab has kind of first pick of like weapons, armor, equipment packs, this like little section of apparently magical items.
I will run to get the cloak.
All right, grab the cloak and throw it on. It's a little bit Doctor Strange style, where you grab it and like throw it over your shoulder, and it wraps itself around you, and then kind of puffs out large, and then forms. You notice almost immediately every thought you have about what this cloak should do, it then does. So it like moves at your like mental command. Let's see here. The Red Knight is female tiefling is now looking about the room. What's the first thing you want to grab? You can see there's weapons, armor, equipment packs. What do you have the thought to just grab immediately?
I think I would grab the heaviest armor I could find.
Sure. There is one set of chainmail on the wall, which seems to be the heaviest thing. So you just go and just grab that and throw it over your shoulder. Let's see. And then Sahanin would be next.
Is there any studded armor around?
You see one set of studded leather. Just
I'll take that.
Grab that. Cool. And then helm.
What kind of shields and weapons are there?
So you can see a steel shield and a wood shield over by the armors. And then you can see the weapon rack has battle axe, longsword, rapier, two short swords that are in sort of a double sheath, so you can just grab the pair of them, and then a great axe, and then there's like a bandolier with like 5 daggers in it. There's a hand axe. There's a longbow that's kind of wrapped on a quiver that's got arrows in it. Same deal with a short bow that is the same situation. There's also a heavy crossbow with a box of bolts on it, and a light crossbow with the same.
I'm actually gonna go and try and grab the longsword and the probably, if I can, the steel shield.
All right, they're two different things, but first you're grabbing the longsword. So you
Seems a little more important.
grabbing the longsword, and you can all can see these like godly entities. Some of you kind of half recognize them. Your memories are getting really foggy, but you see like this silver goldish dragonborn who's been grabbed, who is just like, I am a god, you dull creatures, and he goes, raw, and like lets out a breath of just raw force that just shatters three or four goblins and injures like a bugbear who were like attempting to restrain him, and then immediately just gets like clocked in the head with a mace. And with that, you see a woman with like pale skin and just jet black eyes, in a looks like some kind of splint mail, ride up very nonchalantly on a horse and is being like, well, this one doesn't want to wait, and just grabs him by the throat and lifts him up, and you just see this being just her hand goes black as it reaches up in his throat. He's like, ah, ah, and this starts to disintegrate and just turns to a pile of ash. He goes, get that, and a hobgoblin like picks up this like glowing bead and hands it to her. She's just like, get the rest, and like turns and starts to ride away. And then an orc kind of looks over at the shop, and then you guys have another round of grabbing stuff. So again, at the top, Bakab.
I will. Is there any ration bag?
You see equipment packs, which usually would have rations in them. So there's a spot on the wall with these like basically backpacks that are lined up, and they're labeled as Scholar's Pack, Priest Pack. There are two labeled Explorer's Pack, and then there's a Dungeoneer's Pack, and a lot of those have rations in them.
I will take the scholar pack.
Cool. You grab that Scholar Pack, throw it on your back. The cloak like lifts up out of the way of the backpack as you go and put it on, and then lays back down. Then there's the Red Knight. You don't have the armor on, but you have it like over your shoulder, ready to because it takes a good like 10 minutes to actually put on that kind of armor. And the shop owner is going to try to keep the halfling calm. Oh, he fails. Okay. You all can see the shop owner is failing to keep this halfling shop clerk calm, and the shop clerk is going for the door. Somebody might have to step in to convince him or stop him from busting out the door and kind of blowing your guys' cover. But it is the Red Knight's chance to grab something or do something.
I would like to grab some sort of two-handed weapon.
Two-handed weapon?
Yes.
So there is a great axe, and there's a battle axe you can use two-handed, or you can use one-handed. But if you want a purely two-handed weapon, there's that great axe right there.
All right, yeah, I'll go for the great axe.
Okay. Grabbing the great axe, going over to Sahanin and our helm. So Sahanin, what do you want to grab?
Is there any short bows, or
Yes.
was it just crossbows?
There is a short bow with that has a quiver of arrows kind of lashed to it.
I'm going to grab that.
Okay.
And as I do that, can I address the shopkeeper at the same time?
Yeah.
Or-
So trying to do two things. Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Okay. Quick refresh, how do you do disadvantage?
Just click it twice, and then we'll pick the lower. That's a quick way to do it. So 5. So a little distracted because you're grabbing, and you're like, "We value you. Please don't run away!" Like as you're like grabbing stuff. Yeah, you're finding a fail to convince this halfling not to just make a break for it. And then Helm, what are you up to?
You said the halfling is the one running?
Yes, the shop owner is trying to convince them to like it's fine, just we're fine. They're not even trying to get in yet. And Hag's like, no, I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get out of here. They're killing everybody. And is trying to scramble for the door.
I'm gonna pick up the halfling.
Go for it. Make an athletics check to just grab it.
And then I do have the. I am big.
You are a large person. Yeah, it's not overly difficult. They have a chance that they fail to resist that. So you literally just grab by like the back of the scruff of the behind, like in the mid back, and and just lift them up. And because they're not super, you lift way more than this. And it's just like, go ahead and give me an intimidate check with advantage. So that's like an 18. Yeah, you, what do you say to this halfling that makes them just shut up and hold still?
Don't run. You will be safe.
One of those, the implication being, you'll be safe unless you run. And they just sort of like, okay, you can put me down. I'll just wait. Alright, so you've used your turn on that, but he is calm and it's not going to bust out the door. Going back around to Bakab, you have another chance to grab something. They are not trying to bust in the door yet.
You said there was like what else besides the staff with the acorn?
The staff, it's got an acorn in it that's just like spinning slowly. It looks like it would function as a spell focus, at least. You don't know what else it does. But it does look like a functional spell focus.
I will grab that.
Cool. Grab that staff. All right, and then the Red Knight has a chance to grab something.
Instead of grabbing something, can I look out the window and cast thaumaturgy?
Absolutely.
About 30 feet away. What can I see?
So looking out
right now?
So you can see there was that figure on the horse has ridden away. There's another figure on a donkey, like not like you see one or two other figures go by on horseback, also sort of directing people, and then you see this one figure in this like simple but like clean and nice like green ruffled like blouse, like a man's blouse, and in sort of like clean, simple nobleman's attire kind of thing, just riding in on this donkey, just sort of calmly observing everything that's happening as the townsfolk are getting tied with ropes on the back of their, like, with their hands behind their backs and made to, like, kneel in the center of the street. And then the various figures that are like yourselves kind of showed up and then got all their fancy equipment disintegrated, being manacled and secured to like the neighboring walls. So there's like orcs coming in with hammers and like big nails that like pull up the manacles and like hammer them into the side of the wall so that they're held in place. So you can see all this happening, and with this figure just kind of just calmly riding on a donkey, just observing everything, not even really issuing any orders, just kind of just watching everything happening. A little bit of a or make an insight check for me. Insight. You get the feeling that this person's like just one of the villagers that is being ignored for some reason. Not a real sense of why. But yeah, that's what you've seen in that scene going on outside. And did you want to do something with thaumaturgy?
Yeah, so you said there was a villager on a donkey,
Yeah,
supposedly.
looks like a fancy-ish villager who they're just not bothering for some reason.
In my mind, I'm thinking they could be a good distraction for us to get out. So, in the horse's ear, I'm gonna make thaumaturgy create like a loud boom,
Mm,
like almost thunderish, like right in the horse's ear, so it runs away.
right,
Not the horse, donkey.
right. Yeah, that's fun. Do you give me like animal handling check, but you can use your spellcasting modifier? So that might just be like a straight charisma check for you. Nice. The donkey immediately just like and like and he starts to gallop away, and the figure is just looks confused and just hops off and lets the donkey run away, and it's just like looks kind of like what, kind of does a look around and it just loudly is just like, we don't have all of them. Some are hiding somewhere. Find them! No more faith for the wicked. And you do see everyone kind of hustle a bit and start exploring some more. So, let's see. Sahin and Helm, you guys have another chance to grab something.
So, did you say there was a burglar's pack lying around?
There is not a burglar's pack that you can see. At least not one labeled on the wall.
Is there a... Oh, what's it called?
You can see priest pack, 2 explorers packs, and a dungeoneer's pack.
All right. I'm gonna pivot away from that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any rapiers lying around?
Yes, there is one rapier in the on the weapons rack.
All right, she's gonna grab that then.
Get that down, and then Helm.
I'm gonna grab that steel shield.
Grab
I'm
the
gonna need
steel
it.
shield. Yep, real straightforward. All right, so you got the steel shield coming around. The let's see, as all of you are still grabbing some things, you can all make a perception check.
Oop, forgot to turn off advantage.
You just take the left one if you accidentally roll advantage. And
Nope.
all right, so all of you here, and because there's been a bit of an air of let's do this kind of quietly, but you hear a jiggle as like somebody tries to open the door, and then a call out of like, this one's locked, as you can see there, and then a burly looking orc dude with this horn that is like strapped across his chest kind of like starts to try to look in through the window, although the window, like, it's one of those things where it's daylight outside, there's not that much light inside, so it's kind of hard to see in versus out, and so he's trying to look in and don't feel like he sees what's going on inside, but he's called for help to get this door knocked in. So this might be your guys' last chance to try to get to the back and try to find your way into that whatever secret tunnel the shopkeep mentioned. So, Bakab, what else do you want to grab? Or do you want to try to move to the back and find that secret tunnel that he was talking about?
The storekeeper planning to go with us, or?
It looks like he's still, well, make an insight check, see if you can discern what it seems like his intentions are. You can see him, like, he's like, whenever he's not been actively doing something, he has been, like, just rubbing that holy symbol that he has around his neck, which he then, like, he holds kind of tight and then, like, tucks it into his shirt. You get the sense he's preparing for giving you guys a good chance to get away versus trying to get away himself. And just logically, also, as you look around the room, the door is locked. They're aware the door is locked, so if they came in and there was no one here, that'd be super suspicious. So it looks like he's planning to make a show of, like, hey, it's just me in here, or it's just us, him and the halfling.
Or give him fighting chance. I'll touch him, give him cast dragon breath on him before making my way back.
Nice. You cast the spell on him, and you feel him kind of go. He goes to like try to talk to say I got you, but he's like some like what kind of element do you put on him? Oh, can't hear you.
Is this door made of wood?
It looks like a stone like waist high foundation with then wood over that.
Okay, so no fire. I will do lightning then.
A lightning breath. You kind of like some sparks could come out of his mouth when he tries to talk, and he goes, and he points to the door at the back of the shop, and it's like making a like go kind of motion.
I'll run back there.
So you've got enough left to, because you're not grabbing any other gear. You can get through that door. You do see going into the back room. You can see he has a bed and like this is like a small little like place where he sleeps, and next to it there is a chest, but otherwise it is a stone back wall behind that. You don't see an obvious like pull lever to like go through some sort of secret door or something. And with that, we're gonna move on to the Red Knight. You have another chance to grab something.
Grab anything else, I think I'm gonna go to the back and try to find the secret entrance.
Okay. Make an investigation check and see if you can find the secret entrance. 12. You go back there and you're feeling along the stone wall, but you have not managed to find whatever mechanism allows for whatever secret tunnel that he's mentioned back there. So you spend your turn doing that. Sahanin.
I am also going to go back and investigate the wall.
Okay.
And so let me just roll that real quick.
Yes. Now you will actually have advantage on this, although that might not be necessary. Oh well, it's still cool. You do the same thing where you're scanning along the wall, and then you see a brick where it's your holy symbol carved into it. And so you see that as you run your fingers along, feel it, and then just push in, and this the stonework just drops down and reveals a passage. You have dark vision, so looking on the right, it's a dark hallway, but on the right you can see a door, and then the hallway just keeps going, kind of down and forward. It looks like it just continues on past where your dark vision ends up. But there is also a small door with looks like must lead to some kind of room in this like underground passage. And Helm, what are you doing?
How close are the packs to each other?
They're organized on the wall within 4 or 5 feet of each other.
I'm actually thinking I might try to grab the Dungeoneer and maybe one of the Adventurer packs since they're so close together.
You might, let's see, with what you've got, it's difficult because you have to, like, carry everything and then be grabbing stuff, so trying to grab multiple things might not work out. I would say if you want to try to grab 2, you could make a check, but failure would mean you drop them before some stuff starts hitting the door. So do you want to safely grab 1 or make a chance at grabbing 2?
I'm going to grab the Dungeoneer and make my way to the back.
Gotcha. Just grab the
The only
Dungeoneer's
logical
pack.
solution.
Yeah. Grabbing the Dungeoneer's pack and going out the back, the shopkeep has kind of come behind you, and it's just like, head north to the Wizard's Tower near the coast. He should be able to help. And he kind of nods to Sahanin, and it's just like, Blessings be with you. And shuts the door. As you guys hear, just as soon as he's shut the door, you hear a wham, wham, as the door apparently knocks in, and it's like, come on then. Just like, sorry, you can understand our hesitation. It's just like, yes, come. You don't want to miss the show. And you don't hear any like stabbings or weapons being clashed or anything, but you guys can hear them being forced out, and this gruff voice be like, leans down and goes, check the back, grab anyone else. Is there anyone else back there? And he's like, no, of course not. We're guarding our shop. And you hear him trail off as he goes away.
I'm so stressed for him.
I mean, if you want it, there is a you do see a latch to like lock the back room here. If you want to try to stall for time. There is also the chest inside. And Bakab, what are you doing?
Does any one of you know how to close this gate back up after we pass through?
You guys are looking through. There is on the other side. There is a really obvious switch to like pull up, and as the stonework went down, you saw the switch like move down. So it looks like if you just move it back up, it'll close. So there is an obvious way to shut this behind you.
Okay, I'll go up to the symbol, the brick with the symbol, and cast prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation, yeah. It's a rough one.
And to fill in that area of the symbol to make it look flat.
All right, give me an Arcana check.
Will do.
Yeah, that's not that bad. You think you've obscured it. You'll at least make it. You've at least made it a little more difficult to discern where it is in the pattern of the bricks. So you do that with your like action, and then are you just running down the hallway, or did you want to try to open the chest, or what do you want to do while you're back here?
I'm gonna run down the hallway after that.
Gotcha. You make it running down the hallway. You make it just past. There's a. You can make it just past the door that's on the right, or you can just keep running down the hall. And the Red Knight, what are you up to?
Go for the tactical retreat and start running down the hallway.
Okay. If you like move and dash, you can just run down the hallway, or you can pop check what's on that side door. Up to you.
I'll check the side door.
Cool. You go to check it. It is unlocked. It just opens up. You can see there is as you walk in, there is a soft glow of like candlelight, like 3 or 4 of these different little candles, just like softly burning and glowing. There is a bed that's like the shopkeep's bed was like neatly made and like presented like he'd fixed it at the end of the day. And then you walk in, and this bed is just like the blankets and pillows are everywhere. Give me a perception check. Five. There's a kind of a dirt-ish smell kind of thing going on. It's like it's not the cleanest room. But looking around, and as you look around, there's nothing like obvious about it. It's just like a weird side room with a bed in it that's got candles. So you don't really notice anything, that special about it. Other than like, oh, weird side room, and then like kind of keep going up the hallway, I assume. Sahanin, what will you do?
Did you say that there was a chest behind the door? Like, did we see that, or
yeah, it's right there. It's right by his bed, basically. It looks like.
Okay.
Did you want to open it up, see what's going
Oh,
on there?
it's by his bed. It's like his personal chest.
I mean, it's by his bed because the back room here is only big enough to have like a bed and then a chest and then it's the door.
I want to
It's
see him. He's like a good guy. Okay. So never mind. She's gonna go down the hallway.
just like, man, that's his business. Like, just run down the hall.
Yeah.
As you go past this room that the Red Knight kind of peeked in and then kept moving, make a perception check for me. 13. This is clearly a hookup room. Like, this guy apparently, as you look at it, you realize, like, given your pantheon and all that, and his, like, devotion to it, he runs a hookup room. And, like, so he has his shop, and people probably pay him a little gold that they need, like, a private place to sneak away to. And so he has this little, like, place for lovers to meet in secret that he, like, runs. Almost as you look at it, it's almost set up like a shrine to you, as this place for people to come like hook up. Like the way the candles are arranged, you realize that one is like the large moon of the world and the other is the small moon of the world. Like the way there's some carvings in the wall, like circles that then these candles are set up in. And you're like, you just have that moment of like, this guy is devoted a little, like you're not 100% sure he's interpreting all of your beliefs and scriptures correctly, but he's making a go of it to do his best.
He's trying.
He's trying.
He missed
Yeah.
a little, but he's trying.
You're like, he's missing the point a little bit, but yeah, he's fine. Yeah, okay, I see what you're doing. Did you want to grab anything out of the room, or you want to just book it?
I think I'm okay. I mean, outside the candles, it doesn't sound like.
Did you want to grab one of the candles?
Yeah, I'll take a candle.
All right.
Candles are useful.
You grab one of the candles off one of the shrines. It's just like, thanks, man. And then run down the hallway. Give me an Arcana check.
Not great.
As you're running down the hallway, you have this thing where you're running, but you have like it's a lit candle and you're trying to sneak through darkness. So you keep trying to blow it out, and you're like, what? What? And so there's this thing where you're running down the hallway trying to blow out this candle, and it won't blow out. You keep like missing or something. You're not sure what's going on. And then Helm, what's your kind of? Everyone else is dashed down the hallway. You're still in the. They're all running down the hallway, quickly looking in on that room, and then keeping on. There is still the chest that you're kind of next to.
Kind of want to peek in the chest.
Yeah, you reach down and like the chest just opens. It's not locked. Inside, you can see it looks like a couple of changes of clothes, and then there is what is clearly a coin purse that is sitting there, with what looks to be a little over 2 pounds of coin that is in this pouch. So this pouch is roughly a third to half full of coin. You gather you didn't see a place for coin to be like stored in the front room, so you imagine this is this like coin stash in the back. You also are give me a history check.
I don't imagine I'll pass, but
-1.
well, I didn't think so.
I mean, that's that dude's coin. No telling what's gonna happen to it.
Well, I'm actually going to grab the coin purse because if I don't take it, the guys that are about to bust in the door behind me will. I can almost guarantee it.
And
I'm pretty sure.
You don't remember off the top of your head the honor rules that for invading orc and goblin and mixed race armies, but you have a small suspicion that like this might get stolen anyways, so you just kind of grab the coin purse and start running down the hall.
I'm going to start making my way down the hall and seal it behind me.
Yeah, you hit that lever and the stonework just comes right back up and holds in place. You are close enough as you're making your way down the hall. You are close enough that you hear somebody bust in the door on the other side of the stonework, and you hear someone be like, "I heard something! I swear it! They must be able to teleport, or they're invisible!" And you hear a sword like clank around the room, like ramming into different stonework and all that. They're good. They're good, these ones. But you all start booking it down this hallway. Macabre, make an Arcana check for me as you guys are all kind of catching up with each other. 22. You notice this this moon elf, where you guys haven't had a moment to introduce yourselves at any point, but you do see her just with this candle trying to blow it out as you guys are running through the darkness, and taking in a split second looking at it, you're like, that's a magic candle. You're like, that's an ever-burning candle. Like, you're not gonna blow it out. It's a magic flame, but you can stick it in your pocket. There's no heat to it.
You're wasting your time trying to blow out that candle there.
Oh.
It takes you a second to try to pinch it, and it's just like a no heat magic flame on it. It gives you about 5 feet of bright light, and then another 5 feet of dim light around there, both of which are doubled within your dark vision. So you have 10 feet of effectively bright, and then 10 feet of effectively dim light, and you're just like, oh, okay. Well, it's kind of neat. You have a little magic candle that you can safely stuff into a pocket without too much issue. Yes.
Would I be able to throw my pack to, say, Sehanine and have her look through it, since I ain't going to be able to see shit?
Right. Your only source of light is this candle as you guys are running down the hallway.
And I grabbed a Dungeoneer pack. It might have torches.
Right. So you all have been running down the hallway for a little bit. A lot of you have armor that you're carrying, and you all pause for a moment to throw armor on, or kind of maybe set the candle down, and then I'll start to armor up. So with the glow of this candle in this dark stone tunnel, you all are kind of getting armor on. Macabre, you have a chance, as everybody takes 1 to 10 minutes, I think, to get their armors on. You are near an exit. You can hear sort of wind and birds and the familiar caw of seagulls flying past. You can hear that, and up ahead there is a little crack of light, like it's some sort of exit to this tunnel.
Can I run up there and try to look through?
Yes.
See if there's anything on the other side?
For sure. Give me a perception check. Yeah. You mostly just see it's forest. It looks like a coastal forest kind of thing going on. So there are pine needles and pine trees. And looking at the crack of light, you can see it's actually a lattice work of branches, and it looks like this is just a raw exit with no real door to it. That is at least probably pretty well hidden from the other side, but you can kind of crack it open to get an actual look around. But you can see that it just kind of pops into the forest. But you can see there's plenty of spots for cover and a reasonable chance to get out of dodge over here.
Anyone wearing bright colors I can see?
Let's see. There is... you do catch... you kind of you keep looking around at other angles. You do see what looks like an old woman with a pipe. Like a good long pipe that kind of curves down. Looks like a half-elven woman with blonde and gray hair. She's sort of squinting, like she's looking at something off in the distance, kind of back the way you guys came, and she's sort of sitting there, just kind of just looking, not doing much of anything.
All right, I'll relay this message back to. I'll go back to the crew.
Kind of just quietly go
Relay.
back over and. So you all get all your armors on and all that, and Macabre has found the exit over there. What do you guys want to do?
If anyone is wearing any bright colored clothing, I can help us blend in a little bit more to the scenery.
Everyone has pretty plain, like, regular traveling clothes at this point. No one's had a chance to get anything fancy. So you are all armored up in the flickering light of this magic candle, with no apparent immediate threat to you, but you can't, you're not going to live in this tunnel.
Shall we head out?
Once you recognize everybody's armored up, you're like, okay, you're gonna give everybody a nod, and then open up this this trapdoor. The old woman kind of staring off in the distance just goes, without looking at you, just goes, "Hey, y'all have fun," and then looks over and goes, "Wait, what?" Just kind of looks confused over as four of you come out, and she's like, "Well, I'm not here to judge." And then kind of keeps looking over. What's going on in the town? Are y'all doing a barbecue? And you guys kind of look back. You can see some, like, you're far enough away from the town. You don't have an immediate view of it, but you have there's, like, smoke trails going up. And he goes, "It looks like a lot. It must be feasting time. You think you got room for one more over there?"
I would not go over. Town's not safe.
Oh, that's silly talk. This is one of the safest towns in the area. So many pilgrims coming through all the time.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Town's in flame.
Oh, you're a big fella. Well, guess I'll go back to my crops then. Kind of gives all of you kind of a nod and just, like, looks a little confused, and then starts to walk eastward.
Before you go, do you know where the wizard tower is?
Kind of looks at you a little, like, slant to her head, and just kind of goes, "Yeah." Kind of gesture, and as you look over at to the north, you can see a stone tower that's visible through the tree line, and he goes, "That's the one there. Don't ask him to identify anything for you. You're not sure it's magic, because he'll do it. He'll charge you, and then tell you that it's just a pipe."
Speaking from experience, eh?
What makes you think that?
Just a hunch.
Well, make sure you all take a bath. Stay clean. And then, like, turns to walk away. You guys get the vibe that she's there. She's there to, like, sort of make fun of, just to politely jab at anybody who, like, has a hookup down there, and then go about her day. Like, that's her form of entertainment when she's not gathering up crops and, like, doing her normal day-to-day stuff. She likes to just hang out here until, some kids or some, like, some married people having an affair or something. She just likes to be, like, in on the gossip kind of lady. And then, but she can tell, like, oh, there's something going on, so she just starts walking off. So you guys start marching towards the tower.
On the way there, I would like to introduce myself to the party.
Sure. You guys have a second.
Who are you all?
How much do we actually, like, remember at this point?
You know who you are, and you know one of your, you have a clear memory of one of your domains, whichever domain you picked for your Divine Spark ability. You know of that pretty well, and you kind of remember other hints of other things, but you know, like, your name and what you were the god of. And then, like, glimpses of your past beyond that. I would say go ahead and make a history check or a religion check to know the most about who or what you are.
Yay, I'm terrible at both of those.
All right. So other than the Red Knight, most of you have a pretty full memory of like all of your pantheons, all of your particular, realms of influence, and then the Red Knight, you're aware. You remember being a god of like battle tactics, and that's kind of it. Little flashes of other things that kind of don't always make sense. Like there's pulling the strings on a war at one point. Someone making a good tactical decision that wasn't going to actually work out for them, but you wanted to like influence that, and so you gave them like a morale boost to kind of get them through the day. You have one clear memory of a big burly man with a golden blonde giant beard, light blue skin, and this fur cloak with this large axe, just sitting at a shrine to you, and just giving like a speech, be like, "Allow me this. Allow me to smite these foes. Allow me to carve through them like they're nothing, because they are nothing. And then bring me back to my family." And you see him kind of get up, and he has this one-handed axe and a shield, and he takes the shield off and like just puts it up against the shrine, and he goes, "If I need it, I'll be back," and then marches out of the shrine. And you realize you've been this is like a hyper focus for you because it was like Tuesday, and but otherwise you don't have a huge memory of anything else.
Oops.
So, anyone else introducing themselves, or?
Or what's left? Former god of protected, I guess.
I'm Siahneen. I think I pronounced that right.
Sihanin.
I'm Siahneen, and I'm not really sure what's happening. If you have figured that out yet, go ahead and clue me in.
I'm Bokab, and if I remember correctly, hopefully, the god of magic, and I have no idea what's going on either.
It would seem we are not gods anymore.
Well, maybe you don't think you're a god, but I'm still pretty sure that I'm a god.
You kind of try to will yourself. Sahanin tries to you try to just in a split second just be like, well, I can just be invisible whenever I want, and then you kind of just like flex to do that, and it doesn't happen, and you're like, oh no.
Constipated there, young miss.
Try not to hurt yourself. We don't know how fragile these bodies are just yet.
So yeah, everybody make a perception check.
Ooh.
You guys are all kind of having this back and forth. The Red Knight and Bakab both kind of look over your shoulder as you hear like some twigs snap in the distance, and then more twigs snap, and more twigs snap, closer and closer from a wider and wider area, and you realize there's probably a good dozen or so humanoids running through the brush and the forest, and they're only maybe 100 feet away at this point. And they are intent and moving and trying to get up to you.
I'm gonna relay this information and say, while it's nice to get to know all of you, I do believe it is time for our exit from this place.
Time to go. And then so you all start booking it. Are you gonna try to just make distance, or are you gonna try to be stealthy?
You said they're about 100 feet away, right?
Approximately. You can't actually see the forest is dense enough you don't see them, but you can hear them all approaching, and in the distance somebody, one or two individuals yelling out orders. But you can't make out. They're not close enough to make out what the orders are that they're kind of yelling out to people. But
Okay.
so are you guys gonna run, or are you gonna try to sneak?
Sienna's definitely gonna try to sneak. She's gonna duck behind a tree real quick when the moment she notices there's somebody around.
Right.
I'm going to try and I'm just going to try and book it for the wizard's tower.
Make a run for it. Yeah. So you guys see Helm just start running towards the wizard's tower. Bakab, running or sneaking?
I'll do that. I'll do the same.
Running. All right. Red Knight,
Seems like the safest bet to me.
just making a run for it. So Sahini, give me a stealth check.
Oh no.
Wait, sorry, I meant sneak.
Sneaking.
Also.
All right. Give me a stealth check also. So it looks like a 6 and a 2. So the two of you,
Okay.
it's a funny thing that happens when you roll 3d20 is you get a 68. Or a bunch of d20s. 10 plus your, yep.
That's a 15. I'm not.
Gotcha. So Sahinin manages to, you kind of duck behind a tree, and then you see kind of like a well-traveled like animal path that's heading that direction, and you're like, oh, there's going to be fewer twigs to break on this path, and you start kind of half keeping up with everybody. You see the Red Knight, you see everybody like rush off really quick, and then just be like, oh, and then just immediately like crash through a bush. It's just like a dead bush, so all the twigs snap and kind of go everywhere. And it's kind of so bringing up the rear as the rest of the party is rushing forward. You all have enough distance that they're not, none of them are like way faster than any of you. So as you're moving, it's they're kind of maintaining the same distance, but you get the sense that they were aware of a noise made and are following you, so they are trying to chase you down. I would say Bakab and Helm would be the first to arrive as you trudge through the forest for a good 5 or 10 minutes. You do see the tower, and there is a clearing of a good 100 feet of grass up to the tower. And the tower is at like the crest of a hill, but then based on the sound of the seagulls and everything and the smell of the salt in the air, you imagine that down the hill is going to be the sea. As you run up, Bakab and Helm, give me a perception check, as you guys are the first there. All right. The two of you can see there is the door to the tower is facing you, and at the base of the tower, on like a little bench, sitting there is a figure in looks like black armor, a shield with looks like a scowling face kind of carved into it, and it looks like a few splatterings of blood across the shield. Looks like a longsword equipped in their belt, but they are actually sitting with like the helmet down over their eyes, and and an arm kind of resting against what looks like a short sword, leaning up against kind of on the bench to the tower with their arm kind of on it. But it looks like it's some kind of figure taking a nap. Bakab, you can see it's clearly a half orc. You can see the tusks kind of coming up as the helm is. It's almost like the helm is resting on the tusks as a place where this figure is like, looks like they're taking a nap, honestly. Just sort of sitting, leaning against the tower, napping. As you guys get to the edge of the clearing. You guys can make a stealth check if you want to approach without making too much noise.
I'm not gonna book.
She's gonna walk.
I'm actually thinking I'm gonna stand back and address the orc directly.
Cool. From like
Just,
from
hey,
the from the yelling from the tree line, or are you gonna approach a bit?
I am gonna approach a bit, but not too close,
Mm.
so that way I am near him, but not within striking distance.
Gotcha. Good 20 feet back and just yell to
Just
him.
kind of a, hey, we were followed. We might need your help.
And you notice as you guys get to about about halfway, about the 50-foot mark, and as you're approaching, you do see him kind of like, and like take a thumb and like kind of just push up the helmet and kind of peek underneath it and be like, ugh, and like adjust his helmet to be on, and goes, kind of grabs the sheath of that short sword and then like tucks it on the back of his belt as he stands up, and it's got like it looks like a splint mail that's been coated in something to make it all completely black, and it's just like,
Why, I'm first in line. You need to get to the side here.
There's a queue for the wizard's hour.
Hey, I don't know what you all have to identify, but I'm here first. I have my coin.
I would recommend you to hide since there seems to be some horses coming towards us.
Where?
the Sahanin and the Red Knight are hitting the tree line at this point. Why am I out of focus? Come on, autofocus. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, buddy. No. Oh. So, but the Red Knight and Sahanin you guys are kind of needing to book it at this point. There's a good horde of approaching as you guys have come through the forest. He's just like,
What's going on there?
He kind of looks. You guys see as Helm and Bakab, you can recognize there's a look of recognition in his eyes when Sahinin and the Red Knight break the tree line, and he's just like,
What's happening?
We need your help. We were followed.
Why is? It kind of looks over and goes,
Who are you with? Who are these people?
These two are with us, but the ones following them are not.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
and he walks over and goes,
There's this boom, boom, boom. There's, can't wait anymore. Danger.
There's about a good 30 feet up the tower, a small, bald head, black hair halfling sticks their head out and is just like, "You will wait when I'm ready. I haven't even finished my what's happening?" And again, it looks as he looks over at the horizon and is just like, "Oh no!" And it pops back into the tower. As Sahanin and the Red Knight kind of catch up, the half orc walks up at the Red Knight and gets there's a give me an insight check. Let's have the Red Knight give me an insight check. Finally. You've had not getting great all day. At what at first might seem as an aggressive approach, you recognize as someone incredibly faithful walking up to you and just drops to one knee, head bowed down, and it's just like,
My lady, I will do what I can. Please. I don't have much.
but he pulls the short sword and hands it over to you, and he goes,
I found it in a tomb nearby. It hasn't been identified yet.
and he goes, and then he gets his shield ready and busts his sword out and gives it like a twirl. He goes, "They will not pass me. I may fall. They will not pass me. Go." And the door opens up, and this high elven woman in like medium armor with a shield, with her own like holy symbol around the neck, kind of comes and looks out and goes, "What is even happening?" As she looks over at Macabre, and it's just like, "Won't you please come in?" And then Macabre recognizes his holy symbol on this apparent cleric, and she like kind of waves you into the tower. So Red Knight, you have that short sword, and you guys kind of file in, and the half orc, you hear as the door shuts, and you see him like he's picking up the bench and using it to like barricade the door from the outside, and he's just like, "Come on, I don't have all day," over at yelling at the tree line. So, what are you all doing as you enter this apparent wizard's tower?
Before I enter, I will touch the half orc, give him fire dragon's breath.
Nice.
Tell him burn down the forest if you have to, and then go in.
He gives a nod, and then as you guys file in and he barricades the door, you can hear him charging the tree line. Soon there are sounds of just and screaming creatures, blades and armors being clanged against each other. So the elven woman is just like, this has been a strange day. Are you my lord?
If you are a follower of Macabre, then yes.
My God. All right. Upstairs, please. Best to ask the wizard what we're doing about all this. And you can see this is apparently an Arcana cleric of some kind, and she leads you all upstairs. There's sort of a base level here. It's sort of just like an entryway room, and then there's a bedroom and study on the second floor, which she just brings you up to the top floor, where looks like an area for arcane research. There's and you can see a halfling just frantically trying, he goes to try to slam his coffee, but it's still hot, and he's like, what is happening? Anyone?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
He kind of looks out the window. It's just this. Oh! It's like there's a one man versus army going on outside, and he's just sort of like, I think the short version might be better.
We were gods. We're not gods. What happened?
I don't know. I've been stationed here for a few months, working with this fine lady. We're doing research on the area. There's divine energies flow easily in this realm, and we're trying to research and focus that. And then it all stopped. And he turns to the lady. She's like, I suddenly lost any ability to cast anything. All of my magics have gone.
Your magics were likely tied to the divine aspect of
Mine were.
everything.
The wizard's like, mine are unaffected. And he just flicks a finger and a firebolt goes out the window.
There are no divine sources anymore, from what I know.
She just got eyes kind of go wide, and it's just like, but how will people heal injuries, cure diseases, remove curses, and
Arcane?
And the wizard's like,
Okay.
I don't put body parts back together unless I'm making a zombie or something. And I don't
Okay,
dabble in
okay,
that.
okay.
Tends to
Pardon?
take bodies apart more often.
I don't know what's happening, but
Oh, there'll be consequences. Okay.
A cat kind of like walks by the Red Knight off a shelf and then hops down, and he's just like, "You go cause a distraction," and grabs the cat and kind of like throws it out the window with a rope, and the cat like grabs the rope with its claws and then like it's gonna rappel down the building. Gets right in everybody's face first. He's just like, "Well, I mean, we better get you out of here," and it's just like, still kind of going on outside. But it seems that a fair number have just gone around this follower of the Red Knight and then charged the actual keep, and you can hear weapons clanging against wood at the bottom of the tower. And he goes, "They're definitely trying to break in. Well, if you all want to give me a minute, I'll get to work." And he pulls out this like white green like chalk, for lack of a better term. It seems like just a cylinder of crystal that does flake off slightly, and he starts in the center of the tower, starts drawing this like large circle. He's like, I'm not kidding, it's going to take me a full minute. Where should we go? We can head to the human lands. The Ordinia is mostly human, although it has all sorts of races. But their power structures are all based in the divine. So they'll be the most lacking in power sources and chaotic following this. We could head over to Ozan, that's mostly elves, and they do mostly arcane magics. It might be best for you all to lay low somewhere without too many devout followers around. But Ordinia does have easy to gather followers, and the woman chimes in and goes, their safety is paramount, perhaps not where they'll be easily recognized. And it's like, but there's easily gained followers for protection. And they're kind of having a debate as he's like drawing out this circle.
Take us to the elves. I'm going to go bar the door.
You can hear the door from downstairs smash open, and peoples and creatures start pouring into the tower as you slam the door to this upper chamber. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm going to say that we need to go somewhere we can lay low, because we don't even know what's happened to ourselves yet, so we can't try to fix that till we figure it out.
As we are now, we will be no use with or without followers.
The wizard sort of nods. Okay, and so it keeps drawing out his circle. You all are in the top of this tower. So it might be appropriate for everyone to roll initiative, as we will be moving over to a combat scenario.
So this is my first time using D20, or Roll20, and a minute ago I was able to add my modifiers, and now I can't add my modifiers to my roll. Does anybody know how to do this?
If you go into your actual character sheet, you can click on the individual options for each stat, and it'll roll it automatically with your modifier. No problem. I am going to be right back. I'm not disconnecting. I'm just blocking my camera because I don't have pants. I will be right back. I'm just thirsty.
Gotcha. And it probably would have been best for me to mute people's microphones before people announced they weren't wearing pants. It's
I can
quarantine.
still hear you.
Who's wearing pants? Wha- Oh, jeez. I looked all over for my
I can
door, and
make
then
it.
I had to rip one off as something else. Barring the door.
Have we described how our characters look to each other?
You guys have
Or-
not. This might be a good time. So, we can start with... Wait, what? I feel like it did disconnect because now everybody's in a weird spot.
Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be yellow.
Right.
You're flying, Marty.
Woo.
He is getting his divine power.
I'll
There we go.
go ahead and
Maybe I
describe
just-
my character first.
Yes, we'll start with the Red Knight.
Okay.
Here in the what should be purple.
So I am a red tiefling female with long curly red hair and horns that are sort of like ram's horns that go circular in towards my ears. And she's slightly shorter, but still stocky. And you can when you saw her with the rags on, you can see her muscles are well defined. But also she's very clumsy, as you could tell with the stealth roll from earlier. But now I'm currently wearing chainmail and wielding many weapons.
So now you've got chainmail. Did you have a chance to grab a shield, or you just got the big axe?
The axe and now the short sword, I guess.
Yes, you do have the short sword, which has not been identified or attuned to, so you gotta watch out for that. And then Helm, what does Helm look like now?
So currently, I'm a larger than average life is kind of what I ended up as.
Mhm.
So I'm actually larger than most of them, more built,
Mhm.
and pretty much even my long sword looks like a short sword in my hand.
Right. Big, giant, blood type of person. And then
But I would fight to the death for my friends.
right. And
What was the race again?
say
Goliath.
Oh, Goliath, yeah. And then Sehanin.
Alrighty, so my character is a very very dark-skinned elf with white hair, and it's like she's very leaf built, very athletic but small, and her hair is cut really close to her, it's basically a buzz cut except for in the front where it gets longer, and she's got two braids framing her face. And she has silver freckles with really dark eyes, almost black. And she's wearing studded leather armor at the moment with a short bow, and a rapier attached to it.
Yeah. And Bakab.
I am an average-looking male that is currently slightly tan with white hair, and from the look of his face, he looks about in his 40s or 50s. Seems like he's not that old, but he's aging at the stage of aging.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And then with you guys, there is a a halfling wizard, no shoes, fur coming off the top of the feet, has this sort of a short staff, working as like an arcane focus as he's drawing this arcane circle in the center of the room. A little long goatee coming down. There is a high elf woman with this red cloak over some medium armor, assisting with this, trying to assist. She moves to assist with this casting, and then realizes she has no magic ability whatsoever, and is sort of looking around a little desperate, like trying to figure out what to do. And we will have you all let me know what you got for initiative, as I cannot see all of them. Doo-doo-doo.
I got an 11.
Good job.
19.
16 for me.
11, 16, got a 15 on Red Knight,
19 on Helm.
and 19 on Helm. Excellent. Alright, so you all can hear the clank of armor and weapons of people charging up the stairs, but you have a moment before they've hit the door, and it looks like you've got the majority of a minute left where you need to hold the line for this wizard, and if he loses concentration on this teleportation, then it's just not happening, and you guys are going to be stuck in this tower with an army at the base. So, starting with Helm, you are at the door. What are you going to do?
I'm going to brace myself against the door using my shield, and
Got it.
I'm going to make a solid attempt to keep them from coming through.
Gotcha.
Because if they can't get in, they can't hurt us.
Right. So you're going to try your best to hold the door. References aside. Sorry, give me an athletics check to kind of get yourself in a really good position to hold that door. 15, not bad. All right, you got yourself. Feel pretty well braced. Bakab, what are you going to do?
Is there, from what I know, that's the only way up, right?
Yeah, there is a looks like a double door to a balcony. So it's possible if anything could fly, it could fly up to that balcony. And then there would be like basically window slits on the sides to kind of look out onto the field.
Is there any table or chair that can use to prop against the double door?
Something to drag over to kind of cause some barricading.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. There is. I'm gonna have a kind of a bench over that way. It looks like that has a lot of books and papers and whatnot stacked onto it. There's two. And then there is another one on the side that looks almost like a daybed, where he's put a bunch of cushions, and looks like a blanket with what remains of a kettle that has a little bit of steam coming out the tip. So you could try. Give me a. So you're gonna just try to go move that over by Helm so that there's an option to help barricade.
Yep.
Which one do you want to try to grab and drag over?
The daybed.
The daybed.
That's heavy stuff.
So you go over there. Give me an athletics check to for the wizard to drag that over there. The rest of you kind of see Bakab go over and like go, huh, and like put the shoulder into the side of the table. The other wizard kind of looks over and be like, "That's not really how we." Oh, never mind. Gets back.
He totally throws a hip.
And the Red Knight.
I'm gonna go up to the door and try to hold it as well.
Gotcha. So you're gonna go help Helm hold the door. All right. And Sahanin. There are these pillars as well that kind of run up the center that offer cover and spots to hide and whatnot.
I think Sahanin is going to go to the far right pillar from the, yeah, that one.
Sure.
And she's gonna like have her bow ready for when they come through.
Gotcha. Holding, so you're gonna hide and then like hold an action to shoot your arrow, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. Give me a stealth check with that bonus action. All right. Not amazing, but you are also just sort of up against a pillar with like having an arrow ready to go. All right. Next is them. Helm, you feel the something large hit the door. Give me an athletics check with advantage, since you are being helped by the Red Knight, keeping that thing held. 21. Yeah. The door, lacking any kind of latch to hold it shut, you hits and it gives for a half an inch, but you just shut it and plant your foot against it. They fail to punch in the door. Comes around. Helm, are you gonna hold fast and keep the same plan?
They ain't getting in.
Gotcha. Bakab, anything else you want to try to do?
Seeing how the two of them are now barricading a door, I will instead move to the left upper pillar.
Sure.
Hiding behind that.
Gotcha. Got some cover.
And I will be holding an infestation spell should they break through.
Now, the way holding spells works, you burn if it uses a spell slot, you burn the spell slot and then hold it with concentration, releasing it with your reaction. Similar with a cantrip, you are using your concentration to hold the spell and using your reaction to loose it, but with a cantrip, you're going to burn a spell slot, but otherwise it's the same kind of thing. So you may want to hold a cantrip since you're not sure if you're going to be releasing the magic or not.
Infestation is a cantrip.
Excellent. All right. Holding infestation if an enemy bus makes it through. And the Red Knight is gonna. Are you gonna continue helping keep that door shut?
Yes.
Excellent. And Sahanin. There we go. We're gonna need a nickname. Sahanin is that's why people call her the Moonweaver, because that's just so much easier. Sahanin holding the bow and the arrow at the ready, still kind of waiting to take her shot. There's they get another chance. So Helm, again, athletics check with advantage with the Red Knight helping to keep this door shut.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can't see the. I gotta retrim that at some point. So that is a 9.
Thanks for not with me.
So despite your guys' best efforts, you are forced to the side as a bugbear manages to.
No, you knocked me out.
Manages to get the door swung open, and you can. There's just a bunch of other goblins and goblinoids off to the back. Now he had to burn his whole turn to like push this door open and get through, so he is just sitting there. And the wizard kind of looks over his shoulder and be like, "I'd rather not get hit."
Infestation.
Infestation goes off, yes. As does Sahanin's arrow. Sahanin does not have advantage. He did see you poking out as you busted in. So just take a break.
He needs to make a Constitution save throw.
Con save. That is like an 18.
Okay, yeah, he saves.
So Hanin, make your arrow shot. You have 20 arrows in that quiver of yours. So when in doubt, you can just click to roll a d20 and then add the stuff yourself. 19. So whatever your bonus is, a 19 is gonna hit. Yep, that is definitely a hit. You do get sneak attack damage on the guy because he is within 5 feet of allies of yours. So you have a d6 from the bow, 2d6 from sneak attack, plus your dexterity modifier.
That's 3d6, right?
3d6
Yep.
total, yeah. And then add your dex mod. So it's 11. Sorry, what?
That's 14.
14. All right.
It's gotta hurt.
Oh yeah, no, that sinks in pretty hard. It punctures the left of the chest, and for as big and burly of a thing as this is, this guy, you imagine, takes hits usually and just goes getting like smacked by something. But he goes to do his usual, but you can tell he like collapsed a lung, and he's like, still wanting to fight, although pretty heavily wounded. Helm, you would be the first to be able to act here.
So before I make my full action,
Yeah.
I am actually going to use a bonus action to use compelled duel on
Right.
him.
All right. Burning your compel duel, which I don't know all of these things off the top of my head, but I
It is a wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha. That is an 11 versus what I imagine is more than that on your bonus or on your DC.
He does not pass.
All right. He is compelled.
Which means now, if he attacks anyone other than me, he has disadvantage.
Nice.
I'm going to strike him with my sword.
Go for it.
I did not mean to use advantage, but
Yeah, we just use the left if accidental advantage. But yeah, 20. Well, you have advantage. You're flanking with the red
oh
knight.
yeah.
So yeah, you're good. That's definitely a hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
I'm also good. Am I able to smite?
Yeah, anytime you hit, you can burn a spell slot for smite.
I'm going to smite.
Go for the smite.
Yeah. I don't have the rules on smite pulled up.
I
Yay.
think it's 2d8 for a first level slot. Extra damage. So
Yay.
your normal d8 plus another 2d8 plus your strength modifier. So you're gonna do 3d8 plus your strength mod. And then
3d8.
and then Bakab's gonna be on deck here.
18.
18. All right. So you guys watch as a spark of divine energy flies up the arm of Helm as sword comes down, and there's an almost blinding flash as the sword just sinks deep, cutting the arrow as it cuts like through the top like quarter of this bugbear. And it just falls down on his face. Just falls dead. Immediately dead on the ground. The wizard being like, "Don't get blood in my circle!" And then the door is still open, although no one else has been able to rush in. Bakab.
Dang, that's not thaumaturgy.
Yeah, prestidigitation is not thaumaturgy.
Yeah. I was planning to have it close the door, but
Yeah, that's thaumaturgy. Mage hand can do that, I know, but that takes castings. So anything you want to do? You can see a what looks like a hobgoblin right behind who's getting ready to rush in through the door. So you have
how far
5,
away
10,
is it?
only like 15 feet away from you.
Okay, infestation.
Infestation.
Constitution saving throw.
Con save. That's like a 17.
Damn it. Yeah, that saves.
Infestation's not working out that well right now. All right. Then any bonus action or movement?
I'll move diagonally behind the pillar.
Move what?
Pivot. I'll pivot to the bottom side of the pillar.
Oh, gotcha. Just kind of rotating around as the wizard's kind of like frantically scrawling this arcane circle on the ground next to you. The Red Knight.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to shut the door.
It's just it's just like as you see these other goblinoids with it looks like there's actually an old human in the back line with like short gray hair and a big old mace kind of marching up the stairs past all these goblins, but the door just boom like just slams shut. Do you want to move in front of it to be able to hold it shut if they try to get through?
Yes.
All right. Red Knight gets up there. No one's had a free action to help you shut the door, and that is your turn. This lady gets her marches over here and pulls out a light crossbow and kind of takes aim towards the door. And Sehanine, same plan.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and make your. You can make another stealth check with your bonus action. Six.
I'm rolling amazing today.
You go to like try to be sly about how you are up against the pillar, but you kind of just you're eventually just like awkwardly leaning against it, and it kind of your arrow kind of like falls off the bow for a second. You're like, oh shit, and they have to kind of get it righted to just be able to take your action.
Normally I have like godly level of grace while I'm doing this. It's really throwing me off that I'm not invisible.
Right, you're like, I can just stand here and not be seen, right? And
can I use Chrono Shift?
Oh, to let her get a reroll?
Also, yep.
Yeah, you get 2 of those a day. So Sehanine, yep. You fumble and like your arrow falls out and like clanks on the ground, and you're like, this is awful, everything's going to be terrible, and then you feel yourself stop and like rewind, and the arrow fumbles back up into your hand, and you go and reset. And so make another stealth check as time itself has like shifted and rewound. $22.
There we go.
And you now find yourself just perfectly lined up, almost immaculately hidden from the situation, as a wizard in charge of time itself just was like, nope, back it up, let's try that again. And you are very well hidden for the next time somebody tries to bust through. Speaking of, the wizard keeps scrawling. He's like, it's a little more. And it's like frantically scrawling out the arcane symbols on the floor. Now the Red Knight, we need you to make an athletics check to try to keep this door shut. And something slams into it from the other side. Yep. All right. You can feel the door kind of force open slightly, and you just keep a shield up against it and manage to just hold. It's actually open a crack, and you can see this older, grizzled, like, veteran of wars, this human man who's just trying to force it open, and is just scowling at you, like at you in particular.
We're busy in here.
You managed to keep it held. Let's see. Helm, what are you doing?
I'm immediately gonna help brace the door.
Right? Alright. So you go to help keep that door shut. Bakab, you taking any action?
Gonna do same thing, holding infestation.
Hold infestation, cool. And Red Knight, same deal. You're gonna keep that door held. Gotcha. And Sahanin, you're gonna keep that stealth and just wait for your opportunity. All right. So, Red Knight this time athletics check with advantage.
Do better than I did, man.
You're being helped, so. Nice. All right, and this time you just kind of, with Helm kind of plants a foot at the base of the door so that it's sort of held in place, and then you give a good kick to get it shut, and you knock the older guy. You hear just like a as he kind of falls down the spiral staircase that kind of led up here. You hear a couple of goblins far away. He's like. But yes, you managed to get that door properly slammed shut. The wizard is like, good. That's just a little more. Kind of keeps moving and scrawling things on the floor there. All right, same plan. Red Knight holding the door, Helm helping with that. Zaheen and Bakab holding shots at anything that manages to come through. So Red Knight, again, another athletics check with advantage.
Uh-oh.
It is... I can't see the other number. What's your...
It's a 9.
A 9? Okay. This time, you hear approaching someone just be like,
That's enough. I'm tired of this.
you hear a goblin go, ah! And it's be apparently thrown down the stairs out of his way, and kicking in the door, forcing you to the side, is just a full orc with a sharpened axe that looks like it's got a dragon's head on the back of it, just occupying the space, looking eye level with Helm, and just ready to mess stuff up.
As a reaction, since he entered my range of threat, could I swing at him?
Do you have a feat allowing that?
Fair point.
So yeah, no rules saying exiting threat range
Oh, okay.
allows for a reaction like that. Entering, I think there is a feat that allows that. I think it's like a polearm master or something, but not for a base rule thing. That is an orc. All right.
Con saving throw.
So first up, Helm, you do see this brute kind of walk in, and then he's sort of looks. This one looks very tactical. Is like sizing up everything. Like gives you recognize somebody giving a quick like tactical look at stuff, and is as is the Red Knight. And this guy's this is not some barbarian brute busting through. This is a very tactically minded orc. But Helm, what are you about to do?
I'm actually going to raise my shield and hold my position in case he attacks me.
Gotcha. So you're just going to take like a dodge action, essentially?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Hold him there. Bakab and Sahin actually had held actions for the some of them busting through. So Bakab unleashing infestation and Sahin taking a shot. Sahin, you do have advantage as he did not see that through that stealth check. And for infestation, that's an 18 con save.
Dang, no.
You're doing well on the con saves. Sahanin, make your...
One day.
One day. You're really good for taking out wizards. Wait. So we need Moonweaver to. Alright, so d20 plus 4, and then d20 plus 4. So the 19 does hit. Good thing I had the advantage there. That one would have been less than useful. So this is going to be your 3d6 plus 4. Whoop. 2 more times. Oh, or just that. There we go. So 17 points of damage. So you see this arrow sink in, and you were like, oh, well, that position on the bugbear worked out great. So you shoot this guy right in the same spot in the chest, and it just goes in, and he just, like, goes, it apparently didn't, like, he's got so much mass, it just didn't reach his lung, and so just sort of a prick in the front, as far as he's concerned. Like, it registers that he got hit, but he just sort of looks down, some blood trickles out, and just like, it's getting its axe ready to go.
Mildly concerned by that.
Yeah. Bakab, it comes to your actual action.
Alright. Cast Witch Bolt.
Witch Bolt. Alright, that's a spell attack, if I remember right.
I believe so. Yep.
Alright. A 13. This spark of energy flies out to hit this guy. That weird. Actually, yeah, that does hit. This guy is not armored up. He's a big and tough dude, but he's not wearing his normal armors. So that connects. So I think it's a D12 lightning damage. 1 lightning damage. Well, it's on the die. It happens as often as everything else.
Dang. Okay.
Still, but you do have this tether of electricity between you and him. As long as you maintain concentration, I think you can keep doing that damage just automatically every turn. All right, Red Knight.
I'm gonna pull out my greatsword and try to swing up.
Or the Great Axe?
Like, yes.
Gotcha.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, Great Axe.
Yeah, with
Cool.
my great axe.
Taking a swing. You do have advantage, as you guys are flanking.
I'll roll again.
Yeah.
And
That's
15.
alright. 15 still hits. Go ahead and roll. It's a D12 plus your strength modifier.
It'd be 10 plus 3, so 13 slashing.
Alright. Yeah, you guys see this axe kind of just smack him in the back, leaving a sizable scrape. As someone who's been hitting the foot with an axe recently, it's not pleasant, but he is getting on with his day. Okay. So that is Red Knight. Sehanine. What are you doing over there? You did break your hide as you, making your attack, so. What would you like to do?
I think that she's going to keep the distance that she has, and she's going to do just roll another arrow.
Yeah, you could just take your shot, or you could try to hide first, or you could take your shot and then try to hide after, since you have the bonus action hide option.
Yeah, because I can do that as a bonus action. So I'm going to try to hide first.
Okay.
It might go behind the other pillar.
Sure. You gotta dash over, and then try to use that as a way to duck and weave.
All right. It's just a roll a d20 to hide, right?
Yep. D20 plus your stealth mod, or you can just quick stealth.
I'm not rolling well.
10 total. That does not beat his passive perception, so he does see you and is not surprised when you pop out from behind the pillar to take a shot. But go ahead and roll, straight roll. D20 plus 4 being 7. All right. Yourself and this Arcana Cleric both let loose your arrow and her bolt and they both just like clang into each other mid-air and then like go sideways and don't hit and just go wide into the stonework. And she just kind of looks back over her shoulder. Sorry, I don't know what else to do here.
Falling from grace has really thrown me off my game.
She reloads her crossbow and fires again, and it goes wide again, just into the wall. This is clearly like this looks like someone who's seen several battles and has never once fired this crossbow before, but now it's all she has, and she's trying to make it work. The orc is next, and he is just gonna, let's see, he's gonna try to make an intelligence check. He's gonna do as well as some of you guys have been doing all day, and just be like, He turns to Helm and sees Helm just preparing to like take a blow, and he's just like, the weaklings die first, and goes to swing at Helm with disadvantage because of taking a dodge action, which is versus a nat 20, and then a 2. The axe comes in, and it looks like it would have sunk right into your face, but being ready to defend yourself, put the shield up into in the way, clank it off to the side. He just is like, rah! As it clanks off, he just actually turns around and takes another swing over at the Red Knight. That is that's a 14 total, which I do not think hits.
That is a mix, and I'm gonna use my reaction to riposte.
Nice.
So I got, what's that? If I hit with my great axe, I
Right.
get 8 more damage.
So you get to try to make an attack. You do have advantage on the attack.
I think that'll hit.
It will hit. You might crit though.
I could.
Nope. All right, just a hit. So you get to roll your d12. You add the 8 from that from what you rolled on the riposte.
So 8 and 8, 16 plus 3 is 19.
19.
Slashing.
As his axe glances off of this chainmail you've managed to put on, you just kind of put your foot on the back of his axe and then uppercut with yours. You kind of cut about a third of the jaw off as it glances like a head blow, and it's just like, "Rah!" And he kind of calls back with with 5/6 of a face, and it's just like, come on! Why am I doing this all myself? Kind of just shoves the bugbear body out of the way as he takes a step in after trying to do his multiple blows. From there is a goblin rushes in, and then over here, you would have Red Knight would have gotten a attack of opportunity there, but you have already burnt your reaction on the riposte, I believe.
Yes.
And then
But
another.
Helm used his reaction, I don't think.
Yeah, Helm. They haven't left his threat range yet. It's just the two goblins that have rushed in to the available space, and it seems like there's a horde behind them. The wizard is like looking very concerned back at this massive orc, who does look pretty heavily wounded at this point. But first up would be Helm. Pair of goblins and the orc still there.
I'm still going to take a swing at the orc. He's the biggest threat at the moment.
Right. Go for it.
Come on.
That is a 10 is gonna be a miss. Wait, what? Something just entered chat.
I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to look at the info.
Oh, gotcha. No worries. But yeah, that was a miss with that sword. Not by a lot, oddly, but it did miss. Then I believe it's Bakab. You have this goblin at your feet, kind of looking around, trying to figure out where it's going to do the most damage.
I'm gonna use an action to use Switch Bowl again.
Nice.
Oh,
11. Nice. So just automatically, just a crack of lightning. You see it kind of arc down and connect with the runes that have been drawn on the floor, and all the arcane power leaps up and electrocutes this guy. I need to do a little math. Alright. He's very heavily wounded, but he is still standing. He looks like he could probably take another hit or two, but yeah, he's pretty injured. Any movement, bonus action? You do have this goblin kind of threatening you at your feet. Or you can stay
probably
put.
can't think of it now, so I'm probably staying.
Gotcha. And up next, the Red Knight. You've got either advantage on that goblin, or you can try to take down this orc.
For my bonus action, I'm going to use fainting attack to get advantage on the orc.
Cool. What's your roll for that?
It would be 3 more damage, so...
3 more damage. Do they have to make a save or something? I can't read that from here.
No, it's... use a bonus action to faint. You have advantage on your next attack roll against that creature.
Oh, nice.
So I just have to roll with advantage to see if
you just sort of like clip the back of his like his Achilles tendon basically with like the tip of your tail, and takes him a little off balance, and you go for an advantage attack.
Highest was 12.
12 actually hits.
Okay, so
yeah, he is unarmored.
we get 12.
So great axe damage plus the 3 from fainting attack. So 8
Altogether, that should be 14.
14, alright. Alright. Yeah. The axe lands pretty solidly, like right about where his kidney would be. And he's just like, "Ugh! Ugh!"
Does he go down?
He does not go down. He is still up.
I'm gonna burn my action surge.
Ooh, nice. So it's I don't believe you have an advantage on this next attack though. It's next attack. So, but yeah, another attack.
Oh, sorry, that was with advantage. I'll take the 7.
We just take the left, yeah. So a 7 total is a miss. He actually kind of drops to a knee as you on the first strike, and the second just hits the column next to him.
Chrono Shift.
Yeah. Oh, Chrono Shift. You do have another use, so you get to make another roll.
Yep. Last use of the day.
You actually see as the splinter of stonework from your axe hitting the column, your axe just pulls out and the stone goes back into place as you back up for another swing. Take another swing and hit basically the exact same spot with the exact same shatter of stonework.
Oh, that's...
That happens.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes it happens. Alright, so that's Red Knight. Sahanine?
Alright, so Sahanine is going to cast Hideous Laughter trying to cast Hideous Laughter on the orc.
Nice. Alright, what is the save on that?
Wisdom.
Wisdom save. That is... God dang it. That is a 20 total. Oh, man.
Alright. So, you fell from grace today, okay? A lot of things have happened.
You all fell from grace today. Just more literally sometimes than others. Alright. That is, I believe, your turn. You have your bonus action if you want to go for a hide or a dash or whatever you wanted to do.
I think we're okay where we are.
Okay. You can at least do, because you have bonus action stealth. You can always try to hide, unless you're trying to like draw fire or something.
I guess we could try to hide. We could do that.
Yeah, go for it. Bonus action stealth. So many cats and so many faces.
Moo.
I sneak.
You do. You sneak quite well. You're pretty sure you've found a shadowy corner behind that pillar to pop out from here on your next attempt. The Arcana Cleric takes a shot. Hits a... would hit a 10. So just misses the orc. The bolt goes just over the shoulder. And she's just like, ah, and runs in front of the halfling wizard, and kind of, oh wait, what is it that she can shout? Whoop. This is what happens when I don't put all my notes on one easy to find page. She looks over her shoulder, and goes, "Finish it, Medeas, quickly!" And there's a horde of goblins behind. It's like, make space! And these goblins here kind of look over their shoulder, like, fine. This one is running this way, which provokes attack of opportunity from Helm as it leaves his space. So go ahead and make your reaction attack if you'd like. Is 11 total, which does not hit. Just with the basic leather armor, you kind of hit it in the back a little bit, but just not with enough of the edge of the sword to cause any damage. This one moves over to here, and is going to try to attack Bakab. That is a total of 10 to hit Bakab.
Got it?
That does hit?
Yep.
That is unfortunate.
No armor.
Oh, jeez. The scimitar slashes at the back of you for a mere 3 damage.
Huh.
Not that bad. You
That's
get a but do make a concentration check on that witch bolt. So, Constitution saving throw. Witch
It's
bolt.
gone.
Witch bolt drops. You go, ah! So you kind of like get cut for the first time in probably 1,000 years of like feeling actual pain. It's just very distracting, and you'd be like, wait, what? And when you look back, the spell is gone. The other one in front of the door moves out, which provokes attack opportunity from the Red Knight. Since you have your reaction back. Great Axe is 18's a hit. And 7 damage actually drops.
10 total.
Actually, yeah. Oh, 10 total, yeah. So as the goblin is like, yes, brothers, we will come in. Ah! And the axe just clicks it across the face, and it drops, kind of occupying that space. You hear the scream from behind of Alabata! As a bright yellow goblin runs in, which is running in with, you can see a lack of traditional armor, just a bits covering cloth, and then this icy sheen of hardened, like crystalline water almost, just in spikes jetting off of it, with this what would be a one-handed axe for a larger creature, but he's wielding it with 2 hands, and it's just snarling and mad and it's just it screams, filling both the hallway and the chamber. As you can see, the rest of the goblins and others that are making their way up the stairs just sort of back off, like they don't want to be near this thing, as it's screaming with these ice shards jutting off of it. And then the orc is like, just like leans in and be like, "Your gods have failed," and takes a swing at the Arcana Cleric lady. That's a natural 20. Ugh. And that means, so that's 18 slashing damage to her, with another hit with another 13 slashing damage with another 10 because of an ability. So you guys watch as this guy just walks up and like uppercut, and then a backhand, and she just goes down immediately onto the floor. Looking up, with her eyes rolling back, kind of reaching out to Macabre, and it's just like please, my like having your literal god almost within arm's reach as the light is like falling out of her eyes. And that is their turn. Going back to Helm.
I'm gonna try and deal with this rabid goblin.
Gotcha. You can see the orc is very near getting dropped. He is on the edge of what he can do to maintain his consciousness.
While that may be true, I think honestly this goblin might be a little bit more of a problem at this point,
Right.
given the reaction from the other goblin.
Right. That's fair. All right. So you're gonna take a swing at that guy?
Yep.
Go
And
for
that's with advantage since he's being flanked, right?
it. Indeed. So what's the... I can't see the right one.
17.
17 is a hit.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll damage. If you have another smite, you can use it if you want.
I'm gonna smite.
Go for
I
it.
might as well.
Smite.
It's an additional 2d8, I believe, right?
Yes. 2d8 for the first level spell slot, plus your d8 from your sword, and then your strength modifier. $23. All right. Now, you watch, and everyone can see this. You plunge your sword, tip first, straight towards the chest of this thing. You actually get through to him for... Wait, half of the... You deal a point of damage to the goblin as you crack the armor. It just explodes in icy shards in your face, and you take 10 cold damage. That just blasts in your face from hitting him. And you see the tiniest little scratch that made it through to its chest as it kind of looks down at it and looks up, even more just like frantic, but with a giant grin on its face. But yeah, that is your turn. Ice shards fill about half the room all over the place, and the wizard is like, I really just... Seriously, one more moment, please! And keeps frantically scraping into the ground as he literally is like one more turn away from being able to finish in this this circle. Up next, Macabre. You got the goblin at your backside that's giving you a good cut, and all this going on.
Gonna cast Magic Missile.
Magic missile. All right, who are you targeting?
2 to the orc
2 at the orc.
and 1 to the goblin facing hell.
All right.
Is that max hit?
All right. So 10
Damage.
on the orc.
Okay. That's actually 2, 3, so 5 on the orc and 5 on the other goblin.
Wait, what? Oh, so 5 to the orc, 5 to the goblin.
Yep, since it's
Gotcha.
roll together. If you
Oh,
look at
okay.
it.
I gotcha. Sure. 5 and 5. All right. Yeah, they both take their hits. They kind of spin all over the room and then find their targets. And the Red Knight.
Is the orc still up?
The orc is still up. He's kind of like
I'm gonna.
panting and bleeding and reading the room. It looks like he's made a note of recognition that he now looks focused on the halfling wizard, and looks like he's about to run up to try to end the halfling wizard.
I'm gonna try to stop him
Gotcha.
and swing my great axe.
Great axe.
Actually, I'm gonna do painting attack before that.
Gotcha. All right, fainting attack.
So I'm now
Yep.
extra 4 damage.
4
by
damage
hit.
and attack with advantage.
Got 22.
22 is definitely a hit.
Oh,
That is a
alright, so 1, 4, that's 5, and 8 damage total.
8 damage. Yeah, this thing does look like it's at death's door, but is about to use its last breath to just run forward and take a swipe at this halfling that is kind of your means of escape. Saheen.
She is going to try and shoot this thing so it can't do that.
Gotcha.
Wow.
All right, take aim. Take a shot.
That's actually 18.
18's a hit. And you do get your sneak attack damage, so this is all together 3d6 plus your dex mod. Nice.
14.
You all watch as this guy kind of rears back to bring this axe down, and this halfling wizard just looks up like no. And as he's looking up, an arrow just pops out the back of the neck, and down goes the orc. I'm gonna say you actually did more damage than you needed to. Lands up against the door, kind of barricading it with its body. Just utterly filling the structure. As the goblin kind of looks over his shoulder, just like, pull him through! Anything else from Saheen?
I think she's going to use her bonus action to get back into hiding.
Hiding? Go for it. Roll your stealth. A 12. Good. And with that, this guy has to step out of the circle and then connects the last connection, and you guys see the circle flash with light. The body of the Arcana Cleric phasing out, sparking into greenish energy and then disappearing. And he's like, "It's active, get on!" As he's waiting for everybody to basically to make a run for it. The goblin The goblin with the knife is going to take a swing at Macabre. That is not a lot, but your AC is not a lot, it turns out. Oop. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Yeah, that's a 12 to hit.
Yep. Hits.
With 6 damage to Macabre. The scimitar goes in like a stabbing motion and gets through to the inner meat of the thigh. And again, being injured is not something you're historically accustomed to. It's a very odd and unpleasant sensation. Helm, this yellow goblin, just kind of like grabs your armor and climbs up you to get in your face, and it's just like, that cost me a whole spell slot, and then it kind of does a jump off and attack you recklessly. That's an 18 to hit.
That does hit.
All right.
Afterward, I'm actually going to use Stone's Endurance.
Oh, to try to resist some damage? Yeah.
Yep.
Go for it.
And I believe that's a D12.
Yeah, it's burns your reaction. I think it's a D12 plus your con mod, if I remember right. Let's go ahead and roll that. All right. So that's 2, 4, 8. He's going to do 9 damage to you, but then similarly to how you penetrated his defenses to deal 1 point of damage to his actual frame, the slam of this axe hits your almost stony frame and just leaves the tiniest little 1 damage cut into your frame as he just kind of looks at you, just like, that's their turn. The orc behind is going to try to clear the way, and he's going to roll a 5, so that's not happening. So you can see the next orc behind this war chief or whoever it was that got in here is just having trouble fitting his frame back through the doorway, pulling him backwards. Gets kind of caught on the door because the door opens into the room, and is just like and then he has to kick the door back open to pull the body through. But it takes its whole turn just to try to clear the way for everything else to rush up. Helm, you catch a glimpse of this dual mace wielding human with red hair and the pale elf woman who you guys had seen earlier disintegrate some sort of dragon man, and then another grizzled old human veteran with a big heavy crossbow in the back. But the circle in the center of the room is glowing intently, and Helm, it comes to your turn.
What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to essentially try and the goblin still on me?
He jumped off you to do this weird spinning axe attack, so it's landing in front of you right now.
I'm actually going to move my way towards the side of Bakab, and I'm gonna push him in and jump into the ring.
Oh, try to use your shove basically on him. Yeah,
on him and jump through
at
the same time.
And move away, he does take his attack on you. That's a hit. Natural 20s do that. That is... that's 22 slashing damage as this guy just buries an axe on the back of a leg. I think you're still up though.
I am not.
You are not? Is that that's gonna drop you?
I've only got 17 left at this point.
Oh, geez. All right.
His explosion did 10.
That's right. The so you guys see Helm go to run around and just and drop back here. The let's see.
Unfortunately, I cannot heal myself.
Yeah, Helm drops to 0 and falls to the ground.
So if one of you can get me up, I've got lay on hands.
Well, you do see a off to the side. The one thing they were able to set up before any. I'm just trying to find the right dice. There we are. You guys see as an ally of the wizard drops, you see a rune on this side of the room glow brightly, and then a whisper of like, "Get up, old man, we can't just die here." And apparently a spell that had been locked into the wall from this wizard and that cleric working together triggers off and does a healing word for 7 points of healing as you hit the ground. So you do hit the ground, and then that triggers that, which immediately heals you. So you actually still have the rest of your turn. You're gonna have to burn half your movement to like get up.
Okay.
The wizard's like, "Good on you. I doubted her, but it was a good idea." So you get up. You can get to here. You can either burn your action to get into the circle yourself, or you can still make it to Bakab to shove Bakab in, but you have to pick one or the other.
I'm going to shove Bakab.
Gotcha. Moving to here.
Screw myself. He's more important.
Yeah. Make an athletics check. I'd say with advantage, because I don't think Bakab's going to resist being shoved into the circle. Nice. Plenty. Bakab, you kind of, with a stab wound in your, 2 stabs in your leg, you just get shoved, and he's like, "Ah!" and then pop out of the existence in that space. Then it would be Bakab. You feel yourself phase through, and then a weird magical movement. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me. .22 is very good. You manage to like kind of right yourself in this magical energy and slow yourself down as you feel yourself pass through the town. As you do, you look around and you see all of the townsfolk have been kind of lined up in the center of the street with all of these different recently gods manacled and set up, and the figure in that green blouse lecturing everyone and be like, "Few stragglers have gotten away. Fear not, people. We're here to release you." And an axe is buried into a god and dropped as several people gasp. They go, "They are no more divine than any of us. You owe them no allegiance." And then another axe drops on another, and you just see, as you fly past, the multiple gods being dropped, one after the other, in front of apparently worshippers of theirs. And you see the shop owner from before, kind of as nonchalantly as they can, touching the amulet that is hidden behind their clothes. And you fly off into the distance with your essence. The Red Knight.
Made it back.
Huh?
Sorry, I just...
No worries. It is your go.
Okay, who all is left?
The wizard is shouting at everyone to get in the circle. He is apparently trying to maintain concentration on it, so that you all can get out.
I threw Bakab in the circle.
Yeah, and Bakau got thrown in the circle.
Okay, before I run into the circle, can I take that orc's axe?
Just grab the axe.
Yeah.
Do so. I would say give me an acrobatics check as you try to like grab it off the floor as you run by.
Ooh,
Oh,
did not manage to pick it
so
up.
4. You run by and you sort of like you accidentally like kick it as you kind of reach down to grab it, and it just spins off to the wall. So you can go for this axe, or you can get in the circle. You have whichever one you
I
want.
meant to do that, and then I jump in the circle.
Just jump in the circle. Be like, and then again, phasing out and getting out of there. Sehanin.
Am I the only person left in the room besides the wizard?
Helm
there.
Helm is also there. He kicked in Bakab and kept himself off to the side as a healing rune went off on the side of the tower.
Well then, Sehanine, sorry, she's going to jump into the circle.
Gotcha. Just kind of and phasing out. The wizard looks up and makes his check. He essentially makes a saving throw again, fear saving throw, and he looks up at Helm, and it's just like, it's a god against a man. Hops forward, right in front of the goblin, and is just like, kill me, and this whole tower comes down on all of you. Do it, you bastards. Seems to be trying to give you a moment. The goblin here is going to take an attack at you. That is not great. That is an 11.
That just barely misses.
I forget you guys aren't properly armored at this point.
I think besides Bakab, I think I'm the only one not wearing armor.
Oh, yeah.
I have a shield.
You have the shield, yeah.
Or pants.
And pants and a shield, yeah. You managed to block the blade with your shield and shove the goblin off of you. The raging barbarian is gonna go at the wizard and hit for some damage. Yeah, does some damage. He is going to try to maintain his concentration on the teleportation circle, which he does barely. Okay, that was he took 12 damage and made that makes it DC 10. So he was gonna say he had a 12 on his concentration check. So the axe of this goblin buries into this halfling, and the halfling just like grabs it, and it's just like, what about the rest of you? Haven't you ever stabbed a wizard? As people pour in to the space, and the human with a like almost demonic symbol carved into the front of his breastplate, it's just like, I don't know if we should kill this one. He might be good for some research. And then the lady who you saw disintegrate the dragon man is like, no, it's fine. We already know everything about it. Take him down. He's bluffing about the tower. And the man with the mace is just like, wait, isn't there one of the gods left here? And then Helm, it comes to your turn.
I'm just gonna scream Deus Vult and jump into the portal.
Right. All right. Running past the goblin, it does try to make another attack of opportunity as you exit its space. Is a... That might hit. That'll be a hell of a thing here.
If it does manage to hit me, would its weapon go with me?
It's a slashing weapon, so I don't think so. It's more of a cuts you as you walk by. That's a 13.
Oh, that barely touched me.
Just barely hits?
Just barely.
That is... I rolled a 1 for damage, so that is 3 damage. As you get cut on the side again, but manage to enter the circle, and as you dematerialize, you watch the the mace, the axe, and then the lady who seems to rely on more like some kind of spell casting, blasting this halfling. And as he turns around, he's like, he's just barely maintaining focus on the circle as you phase out and fly through. All of you, as essentially as spirits going across the land, you exit this sea-edged town, phasing through, going across sea and land, through past a desert with various peoples scraping a living by, through a land of people shocked and trying to deal with their lives as all of their powers have essentially been stripped, and then find yourselves materializing in the back of what looks like sort of a church. You all materialize, looking around with the cold stone floors, the same runes on the floor glowing, which then fade out as you have arrived. Let me do a thing. Transition page. Turn the camera. I'm gonna have to watch that part of the playback to figure out what that even sounded like. So you all stumbling out with around a bunch of stonework in this sort of like almost like supply closet, it kind of looks like, but the supplies have all kind of been organized and moved to the side of the walls for easy grabbing to make sure that this circle is maintained, with a door that then creaks open. It's just as this like this elven man with a spear and sort of bronze armor kind of looks in, and just like, adventurers, and it's kind of like looks over all of you, like wounded of various races of various equipment, and it just looks at you and like takes a look over at Helm, and it's just like, I take it you were all ambushed and had to get out of there in a hurry.
The wizard sent us.
Kind of looks over at Macabre, and it's just like, it's a weird phrasing, but come on through. If you have the location runes, you must be up to date on your contributions. So come on in, and shows you in, and you see what looks like a repurposed church, very large, maybe 60 feet long, and maybe 30 feet wide, with little offshoots for different doors. But instead of the normal like church pews and dais and that kind of thing, you see everything's been like repurposed and restructured to be like research. And you see all these elves and half elves, one or two humans, sitting there with like these spell tomes that looks like are open as they're doing studying, and some of them seem to be comparing notes, although they all do kind of have a little side glance as some people have suddenly teleported into the back room.
The cleric woman.
She is on the floor. 2, 3. She does appear to be stable. The one looking over is just like looking at she's just on the ground, unconscious, and it's just like, oof. That's your healer, is it?
I'm gonna actually use like 4 points for my lay on hands to try and wake her up.
You go down and finding one of her main wounds and just sort of gesture across it, and it just stitches together. It leaves a bit of a battle scar across her, but she does suddenly just like, Medius, where's Medius?
Dead.
Unfortunately, not make it.
Damn.
I watched him get vaporized.
gods. And it kind of looks up at the like guard. He's just looking down. He's like, I'm sorry you lost a compatriot. You have a dangerous line of work. So you'll forgive me if I don't have an incredible amount of pity for you. It's a bit like being bitten by a shark while swimming in the sea, if you get my meaning. And kind of steps aside and out of the way. The elven woman who was assisting you earlier kind of looks a little disgusted with his like quip about it, and it's like, well, friends, let's get you some lodgings and a full belly, and let's go. And she kind of leads you all through the church as all these sort of academic mages looking over their shoulder kind of at the lot of you as you all come out, looking onto a well-formed large city with a bustling economy happening, carts and stalls and things going on in the city, and as she just sort of stands there, just exasperated, just not sure what to make of anything.
Have you ever before?
What's that?
That woman been here before.
She's like, I've been to the country, not the city. And she looks around, looking around. This is Ozan, for sure. This isn't the capital. I don't recognize it. He just kind of looks around to, like, one of the scholars is kind of coming out and kind of awkwardly, like, shifting past you, and she just stops him and goes, where are we? We didn't get our wizard sent us out and didn't tell us where we were heading. And it's like, oh yes, this is Foldir, near the border with Ordinia, and you're in Ozan jurisdiction though, so no worries about their zealousness. And she's like, thank you. That's all I needed. Thank you very much. I think, nah, well, and he kind of walks away. So apparently we're in somewhere called Fuldir. I've heard of it. It's near the border of the two countries. A lot of travel economy. A fair amount of people that live in Ordinia who come here to trade. There isn't an active war going on, so the borders aren't locked down at all. I don't know what to do.
Should we investigate the area, maybe?
Sure.
We need a bit more equipment.
And Helm, now that you have a moment, off your, I would say, Sahanin, make a perception check. You all see, Helm, you have that coin purse that you haven't had a chance to actually look through. That's sort of on your back. You kind of pull that out to, like, count and see what you guys have.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. So we know what we're working with.
Right. You pull that forward, there's 220 gold pieces once you guys get it all counted out. So it's got a few pounds to it. Doesn't totally fill the pouch, but we got a little chunk of coin there.
Where did you get that?
Better question for later. Let's just get busy.
Right.
I think you need some armor.
You stand there with massive wounds across areas that would otherwise have been fully armored and protected against.
That might be a good idea.
The elven woman would probably introduce herself at some point. My name is Valir. I have one of the mid-level clerics of Bakab. I was assigned to do research on the area back where the tower was to figure out why divine magics were enhanced in that area. People always had their... it was a pilgrimage place for paladins and clerics to find connection to their gods. But we've all been... kind of looks around and goes, I don't feel that... not that useful at the moment, sadly. I'll want to make connections with some of my rest of my clergy to find out what's happening and what we can do. But if
I'm
you...
going to take a moment and use the rest of my lay on hands to top off what I can for my health.
Gotcha.
Me up to 15 total.
Seal up some wounds. You guys are getting some looks as people walk by, because it's like... not too many. It's like they just kind of assume that Helm's like a barbarian, and it's just like, yeah, you know, giant dude with no armor, you know, it happens. Not an uncommon sight to see like a group of adventurers walking around. And Valir is like, I will... and she kind of nods to Bakab. I will try to make arrangements for some housing, and meet you all back here in the evening. I'll let the rest of you make use of that, as she gestures to the coin purse. Get yourselves equipped. We got very close to one or more of you not making it out of there. And my gods, there's the rest. I don't know what happened in that town. But she sort of nods to let you all kind of explore, to go make use of your coin how you wish. So
I think it might be for us to stick together.
For now, I have no disagreement with that.
you all agree to travel together and head out into the city. You are a few blocks away from a functional market area. You have some coin. What would you like to try to find?
Ideally, a smithy.
You do find a smith. There's a dwarven man at a small forge that is currently working on what looks like the beginnings of a set of breastplate armor. You recognize the tings from pretty far away of somebody working metal and on an anvil. He kind of looks up. He's got no beard, which seems a little weird. Just real thick mutton chops going on, and a head that sort of had like two reverse mohawks shaved into it. All the hair he does have is like braided pretty intricately, but he just kind of look over at all of you, and like Helm, especially with all your wounds and all that, and be like, "You're looking to make use of armor instead of just taking it, eh?" Kind of quenches the breastplate.
Completely disregard the entirety of anyone in my way and just walk over.
Right. There's a couple of citizens like, "Oh, hey!" You just walk right up. It's like, "I see a man that needs armor." Well, welcome to Coda's Armaments. What do you require? What do you have the coin for? It's a better question.
Need something protective, but I've only got about 50 gold.
Oh, right then. I would say an okay set of ring mail, perhaps. Or are you a bit more dexterous? You're looking for something be a little lighter on your feet with.
I think with my fist, not my arm.
Fair enough. I've got a set of ring mail that'll fit you. That runs for about 30 gold pieces.
That'll work. Could I also trade in my saber for possibly a hammer?
Going for a hammer instead of this blade.
Didn't get much choice.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. He starts to comment on like, oh man, look at the dings and the bloods and the things.
Oop.
Whoa. He just sort of like, you immediately like just see through his BS about like trying to nag your longsword, and he's just like, yes, a straight trade for the blade. It's fine. Yes, sure. He goes and he grabs or are you looking for like the one hand, like a versatile warhammer basically?
Versatile.
Versatile hammer, yeah. Yep, he grabs you a good bludgeoning option for what you're doing. The usual, one-handed D8, two-handed D10 kind of warhammer. Makes that trade, cinches up, gets you suited with some ring mail, which is a AC 14 heavy armor, but it is nice and cheap, and you do also have your shield. So mark off 30 gold of that 220 that you guys had in that pouch. The rest of you are looking at a good set of options for some freshly forged, everything from daggers to great swords, off to the side. You guys specialize in weapons and armor.
Do you have anything made out of leather?
Kind of looks around and goes, the sling off the side there, sure. I could keep one of those on hand for, kids that are trying to take out the more ravenous rats on the edge of town.
No sort of leather armament?
Leather armor. Yes, of course. Kind of gives you a look though, and is just like, seem like a wizard type. You all I don't think you all make use of armors. Gets in the way of your gobbledygook.
Why don't we look for possibly something you do have proficiency with?
As a wizard, you lack proficiency in any armor, so none of these really work for you. Anybody else grabbing a weapon or armor, or moving on with your day?
CNN's gonna look for some.
Leah, go ahead.
Somebody
Are there
go.
any daggers?
Yeah, you see he's got a full, looks like a full display rack of daggers, as well as and they're all, sheathed. You go and take a look at them, and yeah, there's various interpretations of daggers sitting there. You do see, I think they're 2 gold each, and they are marked with there's a little twine and tag on them, marked in common for 2 gold. And then one of them is marked for 20 gold. And you see that one, and it has make a nature check for me. Six. The one marked 20 gold, you wonder if it's a typo, but you do notice that while the others have hilts of like oak wrapped in leather, this seems to have a deep purple wood that is wrapped like twice over with some like a silver cord that's been like hammered into the wood, which makes like a pretty unique grip. But otherwise the blade and the slight crossguard to it, it's otherwise just like a regular dagger, but it does have like a fancier, like a pretty hilt to it.
She's gonna buy one of the regular daggers and the pretty dagger because she liked the color purple. So,
gotcha. So basically, you just get 22 gold from Helm. So Helm, go ahead and mark off 22 gold from that pouch.
I am.
And he's just like, sounds good. Hands you the regular dagger and then this purple heart silver cord hilted dagger. Red Knight, anything you want to pick up?
Yeah, I would like to trade my the gray axe that I got for a maul.
The Great Axe for a Maul? Sure. Go ahead and make a persuasion check for like a straight trade.
Could I help him with that?
You were already working on your own kind of thing. Kind of do the street rules. I would say Macabre could try to help. Macabre's not really doing anything over here. This isn't really his kind of stall.
I'll help him out with that.
Alright, so go ahead and roll again for advantage on the persuasion.
Yes.
Yes. He's just like a, alright, you all can have your preferred damaging types, it's fine. And so he takes the Great Axe, hands over the maul.
I'd also like to pick up a glaive.
A glaive! He does gesture to one he has off to the side. It actually has like a, what do you call that? Like a handkerchief, like a bit of cloth, like almost like silk, tied to the top, on the end of it. You're not sure if that's meant to be functional or anything, but it's marked at the regular price for a glaive, which I don't have in front of me.
20 gold pieces.
Yeah, whatever that is in the PHB. So we'll mark that off. 20 gold, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll also like to pick up 2 hand axes.
Pair of
They're
hand
5 gold.
5 gold each. Sure. He's got a pair of hand axes.
And I'm gonna ask, do you do identification?
He kind of looks at his like, he's like rubbing a cloth on his like kind of rough hands that work on anvil all day. He's just sort of like, no. He kind of looks
So
around
you know
and be like,
nothing
look
about
around
weapons?
confused. What would have given you the impression? Not my
I
thing,
mean, you
really.
can tell me.
You want
I'm
to
gonna
go
pull
talk?
out.
Go talk to Ira over at the Unicorns Emporium. She'll help you out.
Will do.
Okay.
I can identify things for you, however, not the necessary period spell.
I couldn't hear you. What's up?
I can identify for you, however, I don't have the necessary components to cast such spell at the moment.
All right. So you all gather your arms and armor there. The dwarf has gestured off to Unicorns Emporium. You guys head in that direction, which is probably where we'll wrap up today. But you guys head over there. You do see a what's a kind of comedic sign where there's a unicorn like sitting up at a desk with like glasses on, and it says like carved into wood, and it seems like they're with hooves. They have like 2 like stacks of books, like they're being organized, and it's marked Unicorns Emporium. The Red Knight. You look and you see the Unicorns Emporium, and underneath in you speak Abyssal, I believe.
I thought it was infernal.
Infernal, yeah. It's what you speak, so it's in Infernal, and carved underneath, which from the untrained eye, it would just be like random symbols like carved into the wood, and it's on like the under edge of the sign. It's a passage that basically just says like a safe space for wandering travelers, is in Infernal, carved on the underside of the sign. And you guys walk in, and there is a purple tiefling woman with white hair, who kind of like looks up, kind of like one eye and a monocle, and just like looks up to people entering, and he's like, "Yes, come in, hey." They kind of gesturing over at the Red Knight, like kind of odd to see another tiefling, basically. And she kind of like takes that monocle out, puts it down. Welcome to the Unicorn's Emporium. Did you got anything in particular you're looking for? Should I just give you a good tour? Or are you here for about the job? Yeah, everyone at once.
I don't think we're here for a job.
Oh, all right, come on in then. If you've got coin, I have things. A
I have
veritable
coin, he has things.
emporium of things, if you will. What do you, before I don't want to show you things that cost like 10,000 gold pieces and be like, I have 5. So, what are we working with here?
We need something identified.
Oh, okay, that's fine. And she pulls a book up onto the counter and some other little like 3 little crystals and like sets them up on the book. And it's like, bring it here. What do we got here?
Go on, Crimson Sir. Do it.
What? Who? Huh?
I'm gonna bring up the short sword.
Ah,
It
lady.
says,
Oh.
this was made by a friend.
And
I
as
was like, this-
you finally have a chance to take a closer look at it, it's like an old like Nordic sword with sort of single grip. And as she unsheathes it, and you can see these runes that are carved in the blade, all the way up the blade. She's like, all right, let's hope it's not just a boring thing. 10 gold. That's our usual rate.
Okay.
Need to pay
Oh,
for my time. So hand over 10 gold. She starts doing this ritual to identify. Her eyes go from sort of a white with like a red iris to just like full black. And she's just sort of like, that's okay. That's an interesting one. That's a spell sword. And kind of sheathes it, puts it off the side. Find a kind of like looks at Helm and goes, yeah. Looks at Sahin and goes, looks at the Red Knight and goes, yeah. Looks over at Macabre and is like, somebody who can cast a spell into it, and it'll degrade over time. But then when you strike with it, you can discharge the spell. Be careful of area of effects. You don't want to necessarily have a fireball go off at the tip of your sword, because you're, right there. So she describes it as a magical blade that will, and you see it's got like 5 main runes up the side of it, and you can cast spells at like various level, and it can contain 1 spell at a time, and every day it'll lose some of that level of spell, and if it loses too much that it can't cast anymore, then it loses the spell. But you can like cast a magic missile or something into it, and if you try to upcast it, it'll like just lose charge every day until you actually hit and have it discharge. But it can discharge spells into targets that you hit with it. These were common in some of the older days. It's probably been sitting in a tomb for a good 500 years, though. But good on you, adventurers. You get out there, you get those magic items, you bring them in, you sell them, you use them. Less boring time I have to spend enchanting blades for all of you wandering around getting into trouble.
DM, does this sword do any damage or just the spell?
It is a short sword, so you hit with it, it'll deal damage, and then as part of the enchantment, it can then discharge whatever spell you have cast into it. It functions a lot like a Ring of Spellstoring, except you can't just like cast out of it. It is you hit and then it just discharges whatever spell is in it. But like if you took like a magic missile and upcast it to 5th level, it would sit in there for that day, but then it would lose charge to be a 4th level, and then a 3rd, and then a 2, and then a 1, and then if it dropped below that, then it would just lose the spell. Likewise, if you cast like a 5th level spell into it, on the next day when it loses a charge, it doesn't have the spell levels left to cast, so it just loses the spell. And if you try to cast a 1st level, it's just going to like light up that 1st rune, and then on the next day it's just going to lose it. So you have an option to plug spells into it and then use them for striking.
While we're here, could we identify the dagger I got?
Yeah. Because you're like, what about this? And she's like, 10 gold. It's same old. I don't know where you found this. This looks freshly forged. All right, so you guys fork over another 10 gold pieces for another identify. Yes. 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 Yes.
As long as everybody's okay with it.
I've got enough.
How much money do we have left, though?
After this, it'll be 118.
118.
Spend the gold, you'll have another 118 gold.
How much are your components for your rituals?
That is 100 gold.
Needs a 100 gold gem, I think, to be able to then
Pearl.
A pearl, yeah. It doesn't consume
but
the
it's an
pearl.
investment, so.
Yeah.
Hey, you picked up a spellcasting focus, though.
But not for components with monetary costs. It doesn't cover that.
Yeah, you still have to have the other stuff. She actually takes a look and kind of looks over as you guys kind of have this debate and goes, would you rather just... Do you want to buy a pearl and you can do this yourself? I have 2 for sale.
Should we buy the pearl, or should we just cast identify?
Kind of pulls it out. 100 gold pieces, and you all just stop handing random shop people 10 gold a pop to identify things.
He'll
Don't
be
have
able
that
to
kind of
use that
money yet.
for like. He'll be able to use that again in the future, right? Like once he has it, he's good to go, right?
Yep.
I kind of vote we do that then.
What about the job? She mentioned a job.
I did. She pulls out a pair of gold like cords that have been formed into like a necklace with little like facets that would fit like gems or something to mount into these necklaces. She's like, I have an order for a pair of necklaces of fireball. Now I need a particular component which has recently made itself available, and I need someone to go get it. So there was a pretty good flood about a month back, wiped out some of the riverlands, or eroded some of the riverlands downstream, and someone found a tomb has been revealed from underneath the soil, but defending it is some sort of flaming head thing that's like spitting fire at people that get nearby. That thing's teeth would be perfect. So I need about 16 teeth. So if you go smash that thing's head, you should be able to get them up and bring them back here. 300 gold pieces for your trouble. And of course, tombs of ancient times and having things in them happens all the time. So I don't have any claim to the territory over there. So if you want to go and gather whatever you find, bring back the teeth so I can make these things, you get your 300 gold.
So we're down to, should we just invest in the pearl, then we head off to make some extra more money.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
I like the idea of picking up the pearl and then going and offing that flipping skull.
Got it.
Killing skulls, bringing me back teeth. That's what I like to hear. So she, for 100 gold, she'll hand over one of her 200 gold pearls that she has for sale. Bakab, you have this staff that she keeps looking up at, kind of curious about what it is, where you have this like gold leaf covered acorn that's just been floating and like spinning in the staff the whole time. You have it, you've used it as a spell focus, still no idea what it is or what it does. You also have that cloak that keeps getting out of your way whenever you're doing stuff.
Pick one of them. I can't identify both.
Well, she's like, well, now that you have the pearl, you could just probably identify it. I'm just curious what that is.
That's fair.
I will tell you after I finish in a minute.
So you take your 10 minutes. She has like a desk with chairs and stuff placed for people to like take a load off. Are you identifying the cloak or the staff first?
Staff. So she seems curious about that.
The staff is very unimpressive. The staff, as you identify it, the staff is the enchantment on the staff is literally that. You may put a small thing that weighs up to a pound at the head of the staff, and it will be suspended there and spin slowly. That is
Got
the
it.
entire enchantment of the staff.
Like
it
a
is
rat up there.
it is a staff of adornment. So it functions as a spell focus, and it looks impressive, but in reality, it just like holds a thing that spins slowly in place. You kind of.
Wow, this is
So-
lackluster.
You were kind of
Feasibly,
expecting
we
a
could
little more to happen.
Pop the acorn out.
Well, and as you take the acorn, and you can put anything up there, it looks like, but the acorn itself is also literally just an acorn that's had somebody put gold leaf on it. And the gold leaf is not expensive. It doesn't make it worth really anything. It is an acorn someone painted that they then put in a staff. You wonder if they got more than it was worth from the shop owner that you got it from. You wonder if somebody was like, "This magic staff is so wonderful," and got like 200 gold pieces when it's probably worth 40.
I got it for free.
So yeah, you have a gold painted acorn and a staff of adornment. You then identify the cloak.
Yep, Doctor Strange cape.
Yeah, the cloak is slightly less useless. I emphasize slightly. So it is a magic cloak. It does move as you consciously and subconsciously command it to, which is still useful for like helping you against like the elements and kind of things. It kind of automatically covers you when it's raining and stuff like that. Moves to cover your spell book if there's any kind of like harsh elements that might otherwise affect it. But it is a cloak of billowing technically, and it will billow on command. It is technically a magic cloak, and that's about it. But it does billow on command, so there's that.
You also had a dagger you wanted to identify.
Yep. And she pulls it out and she hands it to you.
Yeah. So you guys sit there for a little bit. A short rest could be happening while this is all going on.
On that short rest, could I use one of my hit die to regain health?
There's no downside to using your first hit die on a short rest because you get half your hit dice back on a long rest. Might as well. And the dagger, you take your full like 10 minutes drawing these arcane symbols around it. The dagger itself sort of floats up to spin to reveal its magical secrets, and it has none. So looking at it, it is just a really nice dagger with a rare wood and some interesting inlay work on the handle. It looks like it could be enchanted, maybe a little easier than a regular old rusty iron dagger could be enchanted. But it is currently just a pretty mundane dagger.
Pretty's good.
Pretty good. You look slightly more important when you have it visible on your belt. And somebody's like, "Oh, somebody had 20 gold to spend on a dagger instead of 2." So it's a little bit of a flex, but it's really just a flex.
Hey, she's a god. She wants to flex.
Yeah. Having a little flex back is satisfying. And as you all are there identifying your minorly magical and mundane items, ready to look over the shop, you have something like 28 gold left, which is not enough to get anything she's selling. And you all have plans to go knock some teeth out of some kind of fire skull and get some more cash. But we will call it there as a session, which I think went very well. I must say, your guys' not dying at certain points was very impressive, and thank you all. It went very well, and I appreciate everybody's showing up and activities and whatnot. Feel free to message me any questions over the next week. Otherwise, I will see you all again. Hopefully, Caitlin's family is doing good, and we will see them back at next weekend. If everything goes well, thoughts are with them. Hoping everything's good. Thanks for stopping by, anybody that stopped by. We'll be re-uploading this over to the YouTube channel for Guys Gone Wild Mount, and that should be up by the end of the day, maybe early tomorrow. And thank you all. We will see you next time. Gods be with you. Pun, pun, pun. Pun, 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 pun.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Thanks all.
you.
Y'all have a good rest of the weekend. We'll see you next weekend. Bye.
It's bye.
Bye.
Bye.